Oh my god. Of course. It's gonna do that.
Yep.
Oh god. Crazy. Anyway, never mind. Let's do this. Hello everyone. This is Andreas Pop Culture Guy. Today is the latest Pop Culture Talk, and today I'm with Jeff S. True Knowledge. How you doing, sir?
Oh man, shit, dude. You don't even have to announce me, bro. I'm usually almost always here on Sundays for these lives. So
Yeah,
like
yeah.
I'm
I
an
know.
established. I'm a fixture part of it, dude.
Yeah, I know. You've been my co-host for the Sundays pretty good. Uh
I'd be here for every live, bro. If you would just not pick certain movies and stuff sometimes, bro. I just can't do it, man.
yeah,
You know what
well,
I'm
I
saying?
mean, luckily I've been contacting YouTube contenters, and luckily I got
Oh
really
yeah. No, I love seeing you getting other creators on and stuff like that, bro. That's great for you. You know what I mean? I'm happy for you, it's good, you know what I'm saying? And we have different tastes when it comes to films, and stuff like that, So that's understandable, you know what I mean? We're pretty much both on the same page when it comes to television, but with
yeah.
movies we have different tastes.
Yeah, movies is very different, but yeah, I kind of agree. Yeah. I'm sorry, folks, that I couldn't get a couple for tonight, but next time, I got a couple lined up for.
Yeah, you see now how hard it is to actually get creators to guest on your live streams, right? It's not easy, is it?
No, 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 but I understand too. I mean, everyone's busy. I'm busy. Everyone's busy. So
People don't people don't realize. I don't think, you know what I mean. Like, all the times you've been on shows with us with me where I've put two or three people on the shows, week after week after week. You know what I'm saying? That shit takes a lot of effort, bro, and time to make that happen.
yeah, no, that's very true. Yeah, but it's a fun experience. Just contacting everyone I know from the
The
MCB
the
and
best, honestly, for me when I first started getting into YouTube and all that kind of stuff in the beginning was I, as I told you before in the past, we had actual guests, that were either just not even creators at all. I just found them. You know what I'm saying? They were just fans, or whatever, and I just brought them in. You know what I'm saying? And kind of got them started. Or they were people who were already guests on other shows. You know what I mean? Other channels. You know what I mean? And I brought them over to us. I brought them over to my channel.
yeah,
And they would just come on all the time. You know what I mean? Just every week they'd be on. You know what I'm saying? They're that's the consistent guest. You know what I mean? Whether that's all they do is guest with you.
yeah. No,
You,
it's
you
true.
know, they don't make content. You know what I'm saying? They don't have their own channel or whatever. All their content is guesting with you.
Yeah, or if they don't have a YouTube channel, there's mostly pods, from Apple or Spotify or that, or yeah, at the same time they don't do like what we do, as usual.
I would love to integrate some guests like that again on the Bleeding Edge. To fill some guest spots. You know what I mean? Bring in some folks like that could pop
Yeah,
in, come in every the week. Every 2 weeks or whatever. And do shows. You know what I mean? Um, I've thought about that actually recently. But hey, it's just like collaboration. You got to make the effort. You got to go out and find the people. You know what I mean?
yeah,
You know. It takes
yeah,
time. It takes time to find some random fan of The Walking Dead or the MCU or whatever that's willing to actually want to come on and start doing shows.
yeah. No, it's definitely. I mean, yeah, if they're comfortable going into, like being,
That's the
on
thing.
camera.
Are they comfortable enough? You know what I'm saying? I
Yeah,
mean, to do it. You know what I'm saying? The first time, and come on and try it.
yeah, it's very important. That's the thing I learned how to,
Some people are very nervous about it and kind of scared, and the whole idea of it sounds kind of really like scary to them.
yeah, but which, yeah, you can understand, it's just a lot of new for you to, be, with a like a system and the right to, like being on the camera and all that. Yeah,
I mean, it was mostly always successful for me when I would have people come on that were brand new, and had no experience or whatever. They were
yeah,
always okay. Once they found their groove,
rhythm.
you know what I mean?
Yeah,
You know?
yeah. Same thing with me. I was like, when I met you guys, I had to find my rhythm and, end up,
Yeah. Oh yeah, man. I was just looking through some old Facebook messenger messages between me and you from like 3 years ago or some shit. and
Hmm.
looking through one of my notebooks where I write stuff down about TV shows we're watching and stuff like that, or whatever. From when me and you were doing Monday night shows together, like 2 years ago or whatever,
Yeah.
and it was very nostalgic.
Yeah. We had our moments there.
Reading my notes about like what we were doing that night on Monday night, you know what I mean, or whatever, or Dead City, the first season of Dead City that we did, and like what I was saying about it,
Yeah, and of course the early season of Daryl Dixon. Yeah,
I,
that was
I forgot that I was doing all the moderating at first on Monday nights. It was always me there for a while before we started rotating. I forgot about that.
yeah. I don't think I started rotating the year before the next year.
I don't know. I don't know why we didn't just rotate right from the jump. I don't know why I wanted to just moderate all the time. That doesn't sound like me.
Yeah, well, I mean, I was pretty new, so I
I don't think
didn't know.
I don't think you ever actually said to me that you wanted to.
No, I think it was later on when I felt more comfortable with you guys, and I was like, okay, let me start doing more of that. And
Yeah, I think that's what happened. Yes.
yeah, I think it started with the Dark Knight trilogy because I wanted to moderate one of them, and I
Yeah,
got
yeah, I
to,
remember that. Yeah, I remember that.
and yeah, then slowly,
Yeah,
I started.
that was a big deal. You finally came to me and said, "Hey, I want to go ahead and do one."
Yeah, exactly. And look who I am right now.
You've
I'm
come a
able to.
long way, man. Honestly, even on the shows you moderated on the Bleeding Edge, where we've had like 4, 5, 6 people on or whatever, you do a good job.
Yes.
Honestly, between the three of us, sometimes some weeks you're doing some of the best moderating out of all of us.
Yeah, tried to be focused and tried to get the synopsis right and
No, you do a good job doing our format the way we do it. You know what I'm saying? And you do a good job doing it like we do here, like we used to do on Monday night. Where it's just the two of us or whatever, and we kind of just decide, as we go, kind of how we're gonna handle the show, and how we're gonna do the review. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
One night we might, like do it, with a format, and then another night we might just kind of, talk all over, the
Talk over.
episode,
Yeah. Yeah, which is fun.
or get sidetracked and end up talking about, some other random topic, you know what I mean, or something that just happened, or
Something happened, or just being silly as usual.
just bouncing off something that happens during the conversation,
Yeah, I know.
That's fun. It's fun to do that.
Yeah, it's fun to do that. Just start like a break. Like the icebreaker, and like before we do the main topic is always fun.
I will say though that in all honesty, I have actually been on one of those podcast YouTube channels before where they have a completely wide open format where there's no structure at all. You know what I'm saying? Like they have no format. You know what I mean? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like there's not even a moderator at times. You know what I mean? Like nobody's even hosting or moderating. It's just like wide open. And and there's like fucking crazy like amounts of people. There's like, 8, 10 fucking people, you know what I mean? And bro, that shit gets kind of crazy, bro. You know what I'm saying? When people are just talking over each other the whole time, and like the loudest person gets to talk first, and like all that, you know what I mean?
Yeah. It's that's a very tough one.
That shit is crazy, bro. I don't know if you've ever experienced that before, but I have.
No, so far I've been, I guess the two with the two I've been has been pretty structured. We've been going down to the plot and then just get questions, which is good. I haven't done that, so which is good.
There are some podcasts out there and some YouTube channels out there that do that wide open format or whatever with with a couple people, but but with like 3 or 4 or 5 people. Where it does work, you know what I'm saying? Like it works, you know what I mean? Like they make it work, like they've been doing it long enough to where they have a feel for each other and they know how to make it work,
Yeah.
But even then, they have somebody hosting, you know what I mean? Like someone's the host,
Yeah, that's true.
Like when you watch Critical Drinker do one of his lives where he's got 8 or 9 or 10 different creators or whatever on with him or whatever. At the end of the day, he's still hosting. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and he's the the moderator for that.
He doesn't really moderate, to tell you the truth. You'll never really hear him actually like kick to the other guests directly. You know what I mean? Or go right to them. You know what I'm saying? He lets them decide when they want to jump in.
Oh, really? Okay.
Or he'll
Well,
say,
yeah,
or he'll say, "Oh, what's your opinion?" Whatever. You know what I mean? I can't remember their names because some of those creators that he brings on have some really bizarre titles.
yeah, yeah. Some weird names.
Some of them are European YouTubers, and they always have like the weirdest titles.
Yeah, yeah.
But
Very true.
there's some really solid creators from the UK though, like in Europe. There are.
Yeah, they're pretty good.
They have some really good opinions on TV and movies and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And they speak very eloquently.
Yeah, they do. Which is impressive, and good on them.
Oh, it's very enjoyable watching like a really good European movie review of like of a movie. You know what I mean? With the way they talk so well and all that and everything. It almost sounds like poetic listening to them.
Yeah, and they have great sense of humor. Like every time they do a joke,
Yes,
so funny.
their humor is very intelligent. You know what I mean? And like and all that. It's like very sharp, very very intelligent humor.
Yeah.
Not dirty, like our kind of humor, fucking sexual humor, like an assholes.
Right.
I'm
Oh,
telling you,
man.
dude. There's nothing like being a fucking teenager, with little, with a little bit of sexual knowledge you have, and then all of a sudden out of nowhere you're with some chick, having sex, and all of a sudden she's licking your asshole. That is a very bizarre, shocking moment.
Yeah.
You really don't know how to react at that point.
Nope. No.
Besides just kind of like, let it happen. You know what I mean? Like, what are you really going to do?
Yeah. Exactly.
Nobody wants to be rude and be like, stop. You know what I mean? Like, oh, like, fuck, what the fuck is wrong with you? You know what I mean?
Yeah. I don't know what else you can say. But yeah. So,
Plus, it also feels kind of like interesting too.
yeah, that's very true.
It's its own sensation, sir. It's very unique.
Yeah, it's definitely very unique. All right, let's talk about. So our main movie today is Batman v Superman: Dawn of Justice, the 2016 superhero film directed by Zack Snyder.
I forget her name, but I would lick Wonder Woman's asshole, sir.
Oh, Gal Gadot.
Gal Gadot, yes, I would definitely lick her asshole.
Okay. Yeah, directed by Zack Snyder, written by Chris Terrio, David Escor. Of course, is the follow up to Man of Steel.
I would hope she would also have sex with me too. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to just lick her asshole. You know what I mean? But I would do that.
I definitely totally see that on you. No, she's really beautiful in this movie.
It would actually be a little bit intimidating hopping into the bed with her, man. She's a tall bitch.
Yeah, she's like I think 6 foot or something like that.
Yeah, she's like 6'1".
No, actually, her height is like 5'10".
Oh, 5'10"? Okay.
Yeah, I think it's because like she's wearing those heels.
That's not that bad. She looks like she's 6'1", 6'2" on screen.
Yeah, I think it's because the boots or like high heels.
I mean, Hollywood's known how to make actors look taller on screen for a long time. You know what I'm saying? They know how to do that.
Yeah.
Look at Tom Cruise, man.
Yeah.
They've been making him look taller for goddamn decades.
Yes. Or
the motherfucker is like 5'5" in real life.
Yeah, 5'5". Yeah. And same thing with Robert Downey Jr. I mean, he's short, but in the movies they always try to make him be taller than some of his
What is he like? What is he like? 5'8" or 5'10" or something?
Something like that. Hold on. I think he's 5'11".
I mean, that's not that bad. I'm 5'8", and I'm not short.
Yeah, hold on. I don't think they show his height for some reason.
I think he's like 5'10".
5'10".
He's not 6 foot.
5'8".
Okay, so he's the same height as me. 5'8", 5'7", 5'8" is actually the average height of men in America. That's the average.
Yeah, that's the average. Yeah, because my dad was like tall, like around there.
But I guess in Hollywood, it's always sort of been the sort of the rule that like if you can find a male actor that's above 6 feet or 6 feet or above, that's sort of like what you want to go for.
Yeah. It depends on the like Yeah, it depends on the character, like because sometimes they want to match the character's height for the
But
comic books.
too tall is actually not good when it comes to acting. You know what I'm saying? Like too tall is actually kind of weird.
Yeah, you only see that if they need someone like to be a monster or something like that, or like a
Yeah.
like a predator.
When you see some old ass movie and like Wilt Chamberlain pops up in it or something like that, it's like he just looks odd because he's so much taller than everybody else.
Yeah, I'm sorry to say, but like in stereotypical casting, they feel better when they're like playing more of like tall creatures from another world or like fantasy. It just fits better.
I haven't seen a lot of movies recently that have like really tall villains or monsters or anything like that. To be honest with you,
Oh, I mean, the last time there was one basketball player that, well, one of them was tall for prey for predators. Predators, you usually see the tall, like, people to play those characters. And then
you're
the
saying
last
that
one,
in the movie Prey there was a tall motherfucker.
oh, yeah, yeah.
Was he a tall predator?
Oh, yeah. I mean, all the predators are always tall because the
No, well
actors.
they're all pretty much the same height though. They're like 6'1", 6'2",
Yeah,
6'3".
it depends on who played that, predator. Yeah, because the original predator who
So
played the predator.
they actually had a tall predator.
Yeah. Here I can make
I've never seen a tall predator before.
Yeah, it's just the way they show it. Sometimes you cannot tell if they're taller or not.
Well,
The
no, I
actor,
mean I would notice it if one of the predators was actually really tall. I would notice that.
yeah. So the actor that played the predator in Prey, he was like 6'8". So
Wow,
yeah,
a 6'8" predator. Holy fuck!
yeah. And then the original actor for the like Predator and Predator 2, he
Because
was.
the standard predator, honestly, is a bigger guy, but he's not really that tall.
Oh, I mean, when he wears that costume, it's like kind of hard to tell like is he tall or not. Um,
He doesn't look tall. The original predator. I never thought of thought of as tall.
Kevin Pierre Hall,
He
the actor that played.
he seemed like he seemed like he was basically like the same size as like a larger human, but with but with armor on, like with an outfit.
No, he was the tallest. He was 7 feet, 7 feet tall.
Really?
Yes, for the Richard
When
Predator and the sequel.
when I remember when I look back at the scenes with him and Arnold like face to face, whatever, I don't remember him towering over Arnold.
I I mean, how
Do you remember him towering over Arnold?
in one scene, but it was like quick. It's been a while.
It seemed like they were kind of like the same match, like height wise.
Yeah, it's just the way the
Or,
costume
or
is.
Danny DeVito in Predator 2, like when he went face to face with the Predator did not look like all that much taller than Danny DeVito.
Danny Glover, you mean? Yeah,
Dan Glover, yeah, he didn't look that much taller.
yeah, because Arnie.
He was bigger. He was definitely bigger than than Danny. You know what I'm saying? But he was not like super taller.
No, he wasn't super tall. Like
I didn't even know. I didn't even know that there was a such thing as tall predators. I've never seen one. I thought that they were all basically the same size.
no, it depends on who.
I mean,
who's playing that.
obviously, in the new Predator Badlands, whatever, I saw that one tall, really big, huge predator, the father predator.
Yeah.
So I saw him. You know what I mean? And I get it. He's like an OG, like a really old, master predator. So it makes sense that he would be really big. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, I get it. It's weird, but usually these actors are very like tall. Yeah, like Danny and Arnold like are 6 feet. Like Danny Glover from Predator 2 was like 6'4", and then Arnold was like 6'2". So yeah, like you cannot tell like how tall.
I mean, it makes sense that there would be certain predators in their race that would actually be very large and be like very big compared to the other predators. You know what I'm saying? You'd imagine that there would be like chieftains or like or whatever. You know what I mean? Or whatever. Bosses that would be like that would be really big, really muscular.
Yeah. Yeah. It's
But tall, I would never. But tall, I never expected that.
Yeah, no, they were tall, which is kind of crazy. Um, Yeah. Anyway,
It's almost like that aliens film with that hybrid creature that was like fucking super tall, you know,
oh, from AVP Requiem, whatever it's called.
he was the tallest looking alien hybrid or ever type deal I've ever seen.
Yeah, I mean, being morphed into the Predator and Alien, yeah, it looked tall.
No, I'm not talking about that. I'm not talking about the Predator alien. I'm talking about Alien
Which
whatever it was
one?
called.
Oh,
Uh
Alien Romulus.
and
Yes.
Romulus, the hybrid, the bitch that stuck that fucking that chemical into her neck.
Yeah, that one was played by a tall guy too.
Yeah,
He was
that
about
guy was like 7 foot. Yeah, he was tall.
he was you know what his height? 7'7".
And he wasn't even done growing. Like when he died or whatever, he was like still growing, you know?
Yeah. he, he didn't stop growing. Yeah, in that movie, man, he was creepy in that
No,
movie.
you don't know how tall he could have actually got. You know what I mean? Like he was just still growing. You know what I mean? Like getting bigger and bigger, you know?
Yeah, that like baby engineer because he looked like an engineer. That tall creature
And,
from Alien
and he had some human in him, so he looked human.
Yeah, it makes sense.
Which was very menacing to see, like very freakish to see, you know?
Yeah,
Like
true.
it was very awkward and like weird, like you know how humanistic he looked, like his face and everything.
Yeah, true.
If that motherfucker would have actually spoken, I would have been like, "What the fuck?"
Yeah, I mean, I don't remember he spoke. Like he just growled and
No,
that's it.
no,
Yeah.
he never spoke. There's some alien video game or whatever where there's an alien hybrid
Yes.
that speaks that can speak English.
Yeah, there's some stories that there's hybrid. Yeah. Yeah, and there's some that look more human or like look very human. In some versions. Yeah.
That scene where that bitch fucking decided to for some that I don't know why the fuck she actually did it, but that bitch where she stupidly decided to take that black goo and inject that shit into her goddamn neck.
Yeah.
I guess she was trying to save her life or something like that. You know what I mean? I don't know. You know what I mean?
I don't know either. She was totally fine. She wasn't like
I don't know.
injured.
I don't know if she was trying to like save her baby or something, or like trying to save her life. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I tried because she was like captured by a xenomorph, and like she wasn't like by the face hugger. So like she was fine. Like they were on time to like stop the like face hugger to like affect her with the embryos. So
I don't know what
I
was wrong. I can't remember what was wrong with her.
yeah, I need to watch that movie because yeah, that moment was stupid.
Was she seriously injured or something? Like
I think so, but like no, I don't think she was like injured at all. Like I think she just did it stupidly to take that thing. I don't know why.
all that happened was just that a face hugger jumped on her?
Yeah, something like that. But it didn't affect her at all. Um, that the face hugger. Um,
Oh, that's strange. I wonder why the fuck she felt like she had to put the black goo in her neck.
yeah, I'm looking at the Romulus to see like what happened.
I mean, she was obviously scared or something was wrong. You know what I mean? And she felt like for some reason the black goo was going to help her,
Yeah, I
which is
tried
kind of
it.
which is kind of fucking insane because they didn't even know what the black goo really was. You know what I'm saying, or what it did. You know what I mean? So like, why she thought that it was going to somehow help her, I don't really know.
Yeah, I don't know why. But
I mean, look at that black goo or whatever. I don't really see how you look at that and think that oh, that's going to help me. You know?
yeah, I don't know. I think she was that desperate to like save her baby or something like that.
Yes, maybe something happened. I don't know. I don't remember her getting kicked or something. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm just looking through the Wikipedia to see what like why she did it.
Did something happen where she got injured? Did they was there an actual Xeno or something that fought them, or
No.
was there an accident or something that happened on the ship that like hurt her? Or
No, like she was dragged by a safe morph to the hive, and then they rescue her because I think she had like like a watch or something that like
Oh,
will key her
I can I
exclusive.
can't I forgot all about that movie. I watched that movie through YouTube, like through scenes of it. I never actually watched the full movie,
Mhm.
so I missed whole patches of it.
Yeah, I only saw it the one time in theaters, so I need to rewatch it and remember what was that situation. But yeah, she took the black goo from the Prometheus timeline and then injected her without knowing the danger of it, and then this baby engineer came out.
I was amazed that she actually survived from injecting the black goo.
Yeah, because it took a while for it to like come out, into her body, come out from her body.
Still, the black goo is some dangerous shit. You know what I'm saying? I figured they were just gonna kill her.
Yeah, but it didn't. It somehow she survived a little bit until it burst out from her
Well, she
stomach.
was still alive. I mean, she got killed from her fucking baby.
Yeah, I
Her baby like tried to like suckle from her or whatever, or like killed her.
oh, okay, all right. Now I find it. So she was injured. So when the group reaches to the Save Marv nest, they rescue the character named Kay, who was friend.
I forgot there even was a xenomorph nest in that movie.
Yeah, it was. It was in the ship. Um, so she was injured, and then Andy, the android, because he had the chip with the Artani protocol. He like kind of give her intentionally the black goo to heal
Oh,
her injury.
he gave her the black goo.
Yeah, and not without really explaining.
So it was his idea, and he was under control of the fucking the programming or whatever.
Yeah, because remember he was like very like rusty, and like when they gave him the like chip for the like Yotani corporation, he became more efficient as an android, and but became more like a villain.
But that
uh
gave him the Tommy like directives or whatever, where they would give him directives and stuff.
yeah, exactly. And he got this idea just like
So so
David from.
so they, so they wanted him to give her the black goo as like an experiment.
Yeah, sort of. But yeah, so that's what happened to her. So yeah, she was injured, if I remember correctly.
That sounds just like a Tommy or an Ami, whatever the fuck, the kind of shit that they would usually do. They don't give a fuck. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah,
Like,
from
go ahead, take that black goo and fucking inject it into that pregnant woman. Why? Let's see what happens.
yeah, yeah. It's old fashioned. It's
They,
all
they,
the routine.
they don't give a fuck about labor laws or workers' rights.
No, they do not.
And apparently, in that universe, or whatever, like in that future or whatever, nobody cares. Like, there's no, nobody's policing anybody with that shit. You know what I mean? They can just let them do whatever they want.
Yeah, yeah, they do. Anyway, so Batman v Superman: Dawn of Justice, the second film of the DC EU, as they were calling it. Weird name to call this shared universe, DC Extended Universe.
I did not watch the definitive version because I did not know how long it was. But I did watch the theatrical cut, and I noticed that that there were it replayed some of the scenes from the movie over again at the end.
Yeah, did it? Okay.
Yes, like the movie ended, and then all of a sudden there was like flashbacks to the movie, and all of a sudden some of the scenes from the movie came back.
That's weird. Yeah, so I forgot to mention that there's two cuts. We got the theatrical cut, and then there's the open edition one. Have you seen the open edition one?
All I know is my buddy Noah on Facebook Messenger earlier. I was talking to him, but he asked me, did I watch the definitive edition? I saw there were two different versions on HBO Max. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm assuming the one that the other one that I saw was the definitive edition, and I guess that one has the added scenes.
Yeah. It has all the like cut scenes and plot lines that was kind of missing from the theatrical cut. Like it explained more about Lex Luthor's plan on like sabotaging Superman and like all that.
Lex Luthor is not a very good villain in this movie. I gotta be honest with you.
No.
Nothing against what's his name as an actor, but he was not.
Jesse Eisenberg.
He was
Yeah.
he was not a good casting for Lex Luthor.
No,
I
there's
get it.
certain
I get it. He was super popular at that time. You know what I mean? He was really popular. Like everybody wanted to put him in something. You know, so they stuck him in there. Right? It made sense. You know what I mean? But when it boils down to it, he is not a Lex Luthor. He does not act like a Lex Luthor. He doesn't look like him. None of it.
yeah. I mean, besides the red hair, yeah. Like, I mean, he's
That Superman film last year, that Lex Luthor was Lex Luthor.
yeah. Nicholas Holt's Lex Luthor. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
He was Lex.
Nicholas Holt went all out. He pulled off a perfect Luthor performance. He was Luthor.
Yeah, I 100 agree with you because yeah, I don't particularly like this version of
Look,
Lex Luthor.
he looked like what you'd expect Luthor to look like. You know what I'm saying? You know, just like him. You know what I mean? Same height, same head. You know, shaved
Yeah.
head and all that. And then the way he acted, the way he talked, his lines, you know, all that was very Luthor.
Yeah, yeah. Because this one, like, I feel like one of the things that was
He
feels more like
he effectively performed that hatred that he has for Superman very well. Whereas this Luthor does not do it very well.
no, and it just he comes out too emotional and like he acts more like the Riddler. That's the thing. Like he feels more
He's
like a Riddler.
he's too flamboyant. Les Luthor is not a flamboyant guy. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know,
No, no. I mean, he's centric, but not flamboyant. Yeah,
he's
like,
not
a difference.
flamboyant at all. He's like he's very serious and like very, you know, motivated and like very dedicated and focused. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
You know, he doesn't care about like, you know, showing up at parties or whatever and being odd. And
yeah. That's the one weak link I have to say about this movie is Lex
he
Luthor
he
because
doesn't talk to random characters just to talk to them or whatever and say something to them or whatever, you know, or interact with them. You know what I mean? Like, you know, he doesn't care.
yeah, it's just this. He's just not like really threatening, and like his whole plot is very convoluted.
Things like social relationships and like, you know, chit chatter with random people. Les Luthor does not care about things like that.
No, I don't know what they were trying to do with that.
He's very dedicated. He's all about making money and fucking hating Superman and hating fucking superheroes. Straight up.
Yeah, which
That is his life. That and creating technology.
yeah, which you see here, but like they don't do it as well as some versions. Like that's the thing. I don't know. This version is not good. I don't know what Zach was thinking in casting Jesse Eisenberg because he's a good actor, but I don't know. I mean, he was good in the Social Network, but I don't think he was good for Lex Luthor. I think he was
Plus they didn't give him the usual Luthor, like, you know, side characters and like him, you know, his organization, you know that.
Oh no,
You know?
I mean, he has. Unlike Nicholas Holt's version, this one had a Mercy Graves. Mercy was from the DCAU, so she was in this movie BVS.
I did not even notice her.
Yeah, it's very like a very short role, and she dies in the courtroom when that got exploded. So that was Merce Graves.
I will say though that in the Superman film, the whole deal with Luthor actually like employing superheroes or whatever, you know, or villains as, you know, as you know, operatives or whatever was kind of different. I don't remember Luthor ever really doing that very much.
He does that like here and there in the comic books and TV stuff I've seen. That was not.
Well, I mean, he does get involved in illegal business and like, you know, black market business and all that. So it makes sense that he would associate himself with mercenaries and stuff like that, and need mercenaries and stuff like that occasionally. You know, he does do shit like steal technology from other companies and shit like that.
Yeah, and then the cartoons, like it's same thing as well. There, like even stealing his own technology to like sell off the biggest arms dealer.
He's a very shady businessman. You know what I'm saying? He uses his money to like, you know, to like hurt other companies. You know what I'm saying? Or whatever, you know. And at the same time, he's also not afraid to like, you know, actually do straight up espionage or like theft of technology. You know?
Yeah, exactly.
If some company creates some new product that's really, you know, futuristic or whatever, Luthor would just fucking steal it from him.
Yeah, it's no, very Lex Luthor, you know. That's
and then he'll like use his like high paid lawyers to like make it work.
Yeah, very true. Okay. Another I guess worst thing we can bring up is the Doomsday thing. I don't know what's your opinion on
Oh
that.
God, Jesus Christ,
Yeah,
man! What the fuck were they thinking with that? Jack Snyder, I don't know what you were thinking, bro.
I know. Like,
Why? Why? How would you not realize that the best thing to do in that situation would be the most clearly looking version of Doomsday from the comics. That's what you had to do.
yeah,
You
and they
know,
didn't do
it's
that
that simple. That's all you had to do was give us a fucking Doomsday that looks just like the one from
in the comics.
the one that killed Superman. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
That was a cool looking monster Doomsday.
yeah, and we didn't get that. It's
This one was just like some odd alien fucking creature or whatever. You know what I'm saying? That could be in any movie. You know?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I don't know what they were trying. It was like a mix of the Lord of the Rings troll mixed to Abomination
Yeah.
from the Incredible Hulk.
He very much had a troll look. Yes.
Yeah, and yeah, I know that he got the bones coming out from his body, but like that wasn't like a like. Come on, just give him the bones, like from the comic books. It's not like a big deal.
He didn't even really have the bones going. You know what I'm saying? Like not like real Doomsday does. You know,
No, no,
the real Doomsday has the bones like very pronounced.
yeah, exactly. It was weird what they were trying to do, where like when he gets hit by either Superman or Wonder Woman, like somehow it grows out of his body. Like it was weird.
That's
Um,
stupid. Yeah, on real Doomsday, they're like a part of his shit, of his like his part of his body. You know what I mean? Like they come out of his arms. You know?
yeah, I didn't like the design. I felt like having him have that like let those like electricity coming from his body to make that like mega like explosion out of him was kind of weird.
Yeah, like
Um,
just like he didn't have that. He didn't have that pure, powerful, super strong. You know, and super focused on wanting to kill Superman vibe. You know what I mean? Like
yeah, no, and
this Doomsday just seemed like he was kind of all over the place. Like he really wasn't focused on anything. It was like
yeah, and on one of the disappointing things because he's a like rebirth of General Zod, and we don't get an answer to
yeah,
like
yeah. In the comics, he's like an alien creature.
yeah, exactly, and like okay, they used Zod, but like when he became now this Doomsday, does he remember who he was before, or like we don't really talk about that, and yeah, I just feel like Doomsday is way too powerful, and I just feel like he was better in the combos with the powers that he has. So it was just way
Plus, he's bigger in this movie than he was in the comic book version. You know what I'm saying?
yes.
Doomsday in the comics is actually not that tall.
No, he's not that tall. No, you're right.
He's big. He's a big fucking guy, but he's not that tall.
No, no. I kind of wish, I don't know, this, but I kind of wish they went with the other idea that made more sense to maybe use Metallo as the main fight instead of Doomsday.
I'm not aware of Metallo.
Oh, really? Okay. Yeah, just he's another Superman villain. That like does work with Lex Luthor. Like he was like a mystery.
But was he like super powerful, like super strong, and like all that?
Well, yeah. Well, he's a cyborg basically, and like he has kryptonite as like a thing that generates his body.
But he has to have the strength level to be able to match Superman and like actually beat Superman level. You know
No. He's powerful against Superman. I just think
there's very few villains or characters that can match Superman's strength. You know what I'm saying?
yeah. No. I get where you're coming from.
Sometimes people forget how strong Superman is. You know?
Yeah. The other two, that could fight him, either Parasite, another Superman villain that can.
It's just like Spider-Man. A lot of folks out there that never read the comics don't grasp how actually strong Spider-Man really is. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but he has villains that people know of. Like Superman doesn't have a very strong like villains to like
no.
against.
In the comics, Spider-Man will there'll be times when something will happen. There'll be some emergency situation, and Spider-Man will do something crazy like pick up a whole house all of a sudden. You know what I mean? Like or pick up a train.
Yeah.
Or hold up a building that's fallen down. You know what I mean? Like he's that strong.
Yeah, true. Yeah, I mean, besides Darkseid and the new gods.
No, you're right. Superman does not have really good villains. Spider-Man had great villains. You
Yeah,
know,
exactly.
because basically all villains could be Spider-Man's villain. You know what I mean? Like anybody, any of them.
Yeah, and Superman has like not like a good collective of villains that are like strong enough to go against him. So yeah, it's just one or two, or really Doomsday's like the biggest one, besides Darkseid. You know, being the thing
DC
that.
villains just aren't as good as Marvel villains.
Oh really?
I
I
I, I don't think so. No.
okay.
Think about it. Compared to Marvel, Marvel has several villains from the comics that even people who don't read comics know of. You know what I mean? Like, you know what I'm saying? With
Oh
DC, there really aren't a lot of villains that are like, that known.
um yeah, I can see where you're coming from there, but I disagree. I think there's people that, like, it's not Superman. It's like mainly Batman, the Flash, and then you can say the Justice League rogues are like the best they have in terms of rogues gallery.
Batman is the only one that has like regular, his own villains, whatever that are somewhat known, popular
Yeah.
villains.
Well, that's the thing. It's like how much exposure did the villains have? You know, Batman and Spider Man has like a lot of media stuff that people know, and like the villains have been exposed to. You know.
No, you're right. Spider-Man's base villains, his main nemesis are, through him, all became known.
Yeah, became known. Yeah, and same thing with Batman. I agree. Yeah, like DC, like a lot of people haven't seen some of the versions, because they haven't yet adapted into live action.
Well, it's just like when you just brought up that guy just a minute ago. I said I don't know anything about him. It's because
Oh yeah, Metallo. Yeah,
I never read DC comics for one thing, right? And then on top of that, unless the villain has a known name to some extent, I've never heard of him.
no, no. It's been a problem with Superman because his films never adapt his other rogues besides General Zod and Lex.
All you've got is Doomsday, Luthor, and Zod. That's it.
Yeah, that's why I'm excited for the sequel coming out next year to do Brainiac, because Brainiac is the really the other major villain they didn't adapt that is powerful enough.
Yeah, but can they pull off Brainiac in the right way to where he actually works? Because Brainiac is a very fucking like weird villain.
Yeah, I trust Gunn to
His abilities and powers are very weird.
Yeah, well, not really. My problem with Brainiac is his background. His origin is like very confusing. Not his powers. His powers make sense.
Is
It's
Brainiac
just
the guy who flies around in space, like extracting, like individuals from different races and collecting them and all that shit?
Yep. That's Brainiac.
I saw him in that Adult Swim Superman cartoon that they had going on there.
Oh yeah, My Adventures of Superman. He was really good in that.
Yeah. I caught the Brainiac episode. There was like a 2-part series or whatever with Brainiac. I caught that.
Yeah. So that's a great version.
He had actually like stolen this, like the last of like the Kryptonian society or whatever,
Yeah, in the comic books, he contains Kendor, the last piece of Krypton, and that's a big thing in the Superman comic books.
Yeah, and he has all this technology that can minimize everything, make it all small, so he can put it in his library.
Yeah, exactly.
So he's got all these like actual countries of people like living in like
in these like jars or whatever like format that he has, depending on the version.
How they're all surviving and like eating and everything.
Yeah, that's the one weird thing about Brainiac. But I mean, they're able to produce food there in their town, so I guess I'm like, okay. But yeah, so
but there's no supplying of anything, so there's no grocery stores or like, you know what I mean? Like,
I know. I mean, with Krypton, like, kind of makes sense because they know how to like farm, like
yeah, they grow food and all that kind of shit,
I don't know about the other races. That's something that,
but even Krypton, I imagine, probably used to actually trade with like other worlds and stuff like that to get things. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I doubt Krypton was isolated completely in the universe. You know what I mean? And like did not have contact with other races. You know what I mean?
No. It depends on the continuity. I think some versions they like do go out like outposts.
Didn't they have like other races or other planets that were like enemies of theirs and stuff like that?
Yeah, there was one. Was it the Daxamites? That's their like sister clone.
Because they had a whole military for a reason. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Here, let me pull up
And
the.
they had a big military, right? It was like they were very powerful.
Yeah, they were very powerful. Let me get this character because they um had this in Supergirl. Because
Zod, was like very powerful in his role. You know what I mean? Like, he could talk shit to like the politicians and shit like that, and like, whatever.
yeah, that's that's very true. But yeah,
It's that's one of the goddamn biggest mistakes of the Kryptons. You know what I'm saying? They let their military get too powerful and too big. You know what I mean? And then it ends up being their military that destroyed their goddamn planet.
some versions, yes. But other times it's either the red sun or something in the core that like blows them up. It's always different when Krypton destroys us.
Was it weren't they extracting too much whatever out of the core, like or whatever, and it was damaging the planet?
Yeah, it was in the John Byrne Man of Steel run, and then
And then Zog was like, "Fuck it, let's keep on doing it, and like let's do even more of it."
yeah, that's what. Yeah, that was weird. He thought it would be more like distract more of that, despite that was the thing that killed the planet.
Even though there were like warnings from the government that like that like it was already like damaging the planet.
Yeah, yeah, it really was. But anyway, I think Brainiac is a great villain. I'm very sad that it's taken so long for DC and movies in general.
Hopefully he'll look good because he's kind of a goofy character. So hopefully he'll look good. And
Yeah, there's one show called Krypton. They did a really good job adapting his look. Yeah, his look is kind of difficult to adapt, but thankfully, we now have passed the point where we're able to adapt the comic book, villains and heroes like faithfully, depending on what character they do adapt.
whatever the villain is in Supergirl looks fucking stupid, bro. I saw that trailer, man, and like, fuck.
Oh my god, the main villain or not Lobo? Like Lobo was good.
Whatever those villains were in that trailer did not look very fucking good.
Yeah, it's very Guardians. I don't know what.
Are you saying Lobo was the main villain in that film?
I mean, he's in it. I don't know. He's the main villain. There's a main villain from the book Women of Tomorrow.
That'd be kind of weird if Lobo was Supergirl's main villain.
Yeah, I think he plays more of like a bounty hunter. For Supergirl. We'll see. I'm very curious how Lobo is going to play in that movie. But I like the casting because Jesse Momoa makes more sense.
What are they? Are they trying to create some new version of Supergirl where she actually interacts with like mercenaries and the underworld and shit like that? She's like some dirty girl.
No. So this is adapting the Tom King run of Women of Tomorrow that came out a couple years ago. That this movie is based on. She is pretty much out there, drinking and partying along as you saw briefly in Superman, and she needs to help this like princess because this bad guy is after her because he killed her father and I think her race. It's been a while I read the story, but yeah, that's what the main villain is.
But since when does Supergirl like work with mercenaries like Lobo and shit like that, or like need them and like I mean I guess I can see why maybe you might need Lobo's help like in like the mission or something like that.
Yeah, I think is that if the main villain it kind of does
there have been movies and comics where the good guy has to hire a mercenary or whatever just to do the right thing, just to win the war, achieve their goal.
Okay, no, that makes a lot of sense. That's true.
It's like there's been stories where the superheroes will work with villains just because they have to.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I can see that in this movie, Kara, getting Lobo to help. Or the other way around, the villain like contacts Lobo or like contacts like any bounty hunter that wants this big reward, to get this princess. That's
actually really cool when that happens in the comics. When all of a sudden, Kang and Reed Richards have to fucking work together on something. All of a sudden, and like they hate each other, but they got to work together.
Yeah, my favorite one is Doctor Doom working with Iron Man for the first time. That was cool. It was a story called Doom Quest.
I never saw that.
Yeah, it's a good comic book. I think you would like it. It's when Doctor Doom worse with Iron Man because they both get transferred into like the medieval times because of which kind of like got them into the timeline.
Yeah, I
And
can
then
imagine that being interesting. I mean, with Tony's fucking like, sarcastic humor and everything, his whole attitude, and then Doom just being a complete asshole who like hates everybody. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
And
um,
he's totally arrogant, thinks he's like better than everybody.
yeah, it's really true.
Doesn't he believe that like him and his whole country, like Latvia or whatever, are like the best people out there? Like they're better than everyone.
Well, yeah, I mean, Doom has an ego. He thinks he's the superior leader, and like yeah, in his country Latvia, it's like superior
It's
from
gonna be
other
real.
countries.
Honestly, I got to tell you, I don't think I'm the only person who's honestly wondering how this is gonna work out with Downey Jr. playing Doom. It's not a given that it's just gonna work. You know what I'm saying? It's not a guarantee. Just because he's
Well,
Robert Downey Jr. does not mean all of a sudden, just because he was good as Iron Man, does not mean that all of a sudden he's just going to automatically become this awesome Doom.
yeah, I I don't know how that's gonna work. I don't want to talk about it. I think it'll be a good time to talk about it, a different discussion. But yeah, I'm very curious how Marvel's gonna do it and how Robert Downey is gonna portray it.
I've never
Because
even seen Robert Downey Jr. portraying a villain character before.
I have once or twice. Like it was funny. I forgot he was in this movie called U.S. Marshals, which was a sequel to The
I
Fugitives.
saw that. I saw that.
Yeah, he played a villain there. And I forgot that he was a villain there.
Oh,
It was a twist.
I thought he was an agent.
Yeah, he was an agent, but like he was like the mold, and like he's the one that
Oh,
set up Wesley Snipes' character in the movie.
he like
And
double
then
crossed them. Yeah, I gotcha.
yeah, and then the second time he played a villain was in Oppenheimer, where he was like a pose of Robert J.
He wasn't really
Oppenheimer.
a villain necessarily. He was just
Yeah, no,
he was a politician.
a
You know what I'm
politician,
saying?
right?
Who played dirty politics
Yeah, so I
and
yeah, no, no,
and like broke some rules.
yeah, because I'm trying to remember what his character like. I think because he didn't he thinks that
He was jealous of Oppenheimer from
yeah,
jump. He was
exactly.
jealous of him.
Jealous. He was jealous with Oppenheimer, and so he wanted to be like out from the like the commute, like whatever the
He wanted to be talking to like famous scientists like Einstein and shit like that, and be friends with them and stuff like that, whatnot. And it bothered him that like that Oppenheimer had that going.
yeah, yeah, that's true. Yeah, so I think Robert has the like he's a great actor. I like Robert, and I think he'd be a good villain.
But
But I
that,
just
but it's one thing, my friend, to play a dirty politician. That's one thing. That's Robert Downey Jr. is perfect for that. Playing Doom, playing an actual Doom villain, a superhero villain, is a whole different deal.
well, yeah, I see. That's the yeah, that's where I agree with you with that. Like, I think if he play a different
Uh, you
Marvel
know, the
character,
Oppenheimer villain is a smart villain, a political villain. You know what I'm saying?
yeah, but
Like
Doom is that too.
that's
Like Doom,
that's perfect for Robert Downey Jr. You know what I'm
yeah.
saying?
Well, that's the thing. Like Doom is literally like that. He is a politician, like smart.
But we know Robert Downey Jr. can play really well. That's the sarcastic playboy, type, character Iron Man. You know what I'm saying? Can he
Yeah,
play now? Can he now play the hateful, villainous? You know what I'm saying?
yeah. I think he could do it.
I mean, what's the voice gonna sound like? You know what I'm saying? Like, are they gonna use like some kind of like like audio enhancement? Like,
Yeah, that is a really good point. I
they're
hopefully,
gonna have to if he's gonna sound like Doom.
yeah, because sometimes Doom does have like a altered, like, um, how you say it, like, voice sometimes in the cartoons or the movies, depending. But yeah, it's we'll see. We
Yeah,
gotta,
he has a very serious, deliberate tone to the way he talks. You know what I'm saying? And it can be kind of almost villainous or malicious at times. You know what I mean? And Robert Downey
yeah,
Jr. The way Robert Downey Jr. speaks is not like that.
no, no, that's true. No, I can agree with you with that part. Yeah, we'll see. We can go back to that topic another time because we don't have too much, and I was kind of surprised that teaser trailers didn't like give us one trailer to like show us Doom, and
That could be a problem, man.
yeah, it'd be a problem. Hopefully next month or whenever or Comic-Con this year we get a trailer of Doomsday to get a better clear like idea of Doctor Doom, uh Robert's version of Doctor Doom, but we'll see. All right, let's get out of Marvel. Let's get
Hey,
back to DC.
Jason just tested me.
Oh really? What are you saying?
I don't know. Some about he had a good day at work, whatever. He took some picture of some bridge. I guess he must have been out walking on some trail or something in California today. So he sent me a picture.
Oh, that's cool. It's been a while. We have him in the shows. We need to get him in
I
there.
talked to him the other day about it, and he got a new job, and he's
Oh
saying,
yeah,
his schedule just doesn't work out right now.
yeah.
Uh,
I can understand.
his new job is farther away from his house than his last job. His commute's going to
Ooh,
be longer. So he's not going to be able to. He's not going to be able to make it on Wednesday nights and Friday nights on time for shows.
no, I understand. Ah, man, miss you, sir. Miss you, Raph.
It happens, man. I can't tell you how many times I just today, yesterday, I reached out to creators about guesting with us, and one guy said he just picked up a second job. You know what I mean? So he's more busy. You know what I mean?
Oh wow. Yeah. I have a new job.
I know
Actually,
you keep saying that, sir.
yeah. Substitute teaching.
Really?
Yes, yes. They
Wow.
yeah. So this program called me, and I was like, yeah, sure.
Good for you, sir. Substitute teaching sounds awesome.
Yeah. So tomorrow I'm gonna start. And
Really?
I got a whole schedule. I have Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, and
What
then
are you
next week,
teaching?
elementary school, which is good.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
What?
yeah.
All subjects?
I think so because I'm there until 3:30. Apparently.
Wow,
Um,
it's their elementary school, huh?
yeah, thank goodness. My mom told me the high schools are really tough, which is true.
Oh
Uh,
yeah, what are you kidding me? The kids these days, I've seen some of the videos on YouTube about how they act in class and shit. You know what I mean? And fucking yell at their teachers and fucking scream at them, and you know what I'm saying? And they're out
yeah,
there fucking on their cell phones right during class and shit all the time.
yeah, it's crazy.
The teachers have to fight with the kids over their cell phones. They gotta take their cell phones away, and then the kids go crazy.
Oh my god. Yep. It's true stories there.
I've even
Uh,
seen videos of teachers fighting students the last couple of years.
oh really?
Yeah, in class, having fights.
Oh dear. Uh yeah,
The,
it's
the,
crazy.
new, the new generation of kids, man, I don't know a lot about them. I don't interact with them very often and everything, but they're definitely different.
Yeah, it's
You
I
know,
think it's
the way they talk is different. You know what I mean? There's the words they use, the slang is different.
yeah. Yeah,
My
whole
I
new
mean, my own teenage son when he talks, what I'm saying, he uses some of the hipper,
hipper words.
terms and stuff like that and
Yep.
everything, and I'm just like, okay,
Okay. Okay. Yeah. Same here. Yeah.
like, what does that
Yeah.
even mean? Like, okay, like I get it, you're describing it as whatever. It's mid. What does mid mean? Is that good? Is that bad? Like, I mean,
Yeah. Yeah.
what is mid?
Yeah. What is mid?
And they like use it for everything. Like anything can be mid.
Yeah.
So what the fuck does that even mean?
Uh, oh, I don't know. Like it's good or bad. I don't
I
know.
don't
Like mid.
understand that fucking word. I do not even get
Yeah.
it.
Like mid means like it's okay but not good.
Okay.
It's something like that. Because it's kind of like if you rank a movie like good sample this like
Yeah, it's or a TV show. It's just okay. Yeah.
yeah, it's okay. It's like I like it, but it's not like gonna be my top tier show to watch.
I
But
don't know.
yeah,
Kids. My son's weird, man. I'll tell you right now.
yeah, it's
There's anime shows I've watched that are like goddamn outstanding, and then I asked him about it, and he's like, "Oh, that was mid." This is mid, or whatever. And I'm like, "What the fuck?"
yeah, what that means.
But
Like, yeah, I don't know what interest he has, but like, yeah,
like, this is rated one of the best kind of anime shows ever in history, or whatever. But you're saying to me it's mid?
yeah, it's very true.
That's kids these days, man.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, if you
Yeah,
had
so
if you had to sit down and make them watch some of our older films and stuff like that we were into, like a lot of them
oh my god,
probably wouldn't even want to watch them.
no, like I don't know, like this generation have like a short span, something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, I've never understood. I've never really understood. People who actually enjoy just watching short version, like videos. Like that's all
No,
they
I
watch is
don't
shorts.
either. Yeah, I don't understand that, but it's the new norm apparently. But yeah,
I mean,
it's
I
just
can watch some shorts for a minute on Instagram for a minute. You know what I'm saying? But I can only do it for a minute. I can't actually just keep watching it.
yeah. But yeah, kind of
If you
crazy.
sit and watch YouTube Reels for a while, I mean, honestly, like a lot of them are just stupid.
Yeah, yeah. It's kind of crazy.
How many times can you watch people jump off high bridges or waterfalls or fucking, pull stupid pranks on people?
Yeah, yeah. It's kind of crazy. Um,
You know what I don't understand at all too either is these motherfuckers on YouTube that fake and pretend like certain situations like my girlfriend's ex-boyfriend wants to kill me or whatever the video, and it shows some huge guy, you know what I mean, or whatever being the ex-boyfriend. It's obviously fake. You know what I mean? Completely fake. You know what I mean? You
yeah.
know? But there's creators that do that shit and like get like fucking 8-10 million views on it.
Oh, really?
My ex-girlfriend broke into my house or whatever, but it's totally fake.
Oh my god. Yeah, I've seen those before. They're pretty crazy.
Like it's
They're weird.
obvious. You know it's fake. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah, yeah.
they're not even trying to be serious.
No, they don't.
In real life, when you watch a video where the ex-girlfriend breaks into some guy's house, that shit is fucking crazy.
Yeah, it's true. But yeah, it's kind of crazy. All right, let's get back to BVS. I guess one thing I will say that I was kind of shocked that I did like this. Was Ben Affleck's Batman. That was a good casting.
Yeah. I was just saying to my friend Noah, he's a DC fan. Saying to him that I liked the Affleck Batman, although I know some didn't, and he agreed. He was like, yeah, I liked Affleck, and that's when he asked me if I saw the definitive version.
Yeah, because the Ultimate Edition does a good job with both Ben Affleck and Henry Cavill's Superman a bit better than the.
No, I liked Affleck Batman. Unfortunately, it was just a bad timing for him doing it because unfortunately, there was just no opportunities for him to actually make a solo film.
No, and unfortunately, it was just like
he's the only new Batman that didn't get his own film.
No, which is a shame because the version of the Batman that he had before the new one that we got eventually was so interesting because Destro was going to be the main villain, and like we're going to get some Arkham Asylum stuff. So like it was really interesting.
The stuff Affleck wanted to do with Batman.
Yeah.
I saw a program on YouTube one time about where he talked about that.
Yeah, and the one cinematography he got.
Apparently, the what he'd already written the film the film he was going to be in or whatever, it was it was all ready to go, and then for whatever reason they pulled the plug.
Yeah, he just his just personal life was really hard on him. If you know what happened.
I think there were multiple problems. The personal life. I think there was also studio problems. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it was a lot of things.
I think there were people that didn't know if it was a good idea to actually make the film.
Yeah, exactly, and that's why we didn't get it.
There wasn't really a lot of strong optimism or backing from the studio to want to make the Batman film.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, but yeah, it was unfortunate, but it happened, and because like I think Ben Affleck was a really good Bruce Wayne and Batman.
It was just an odd situation where for once, like there was actually a question of whether or not we should give this Batman a film. You know what I mean? Unlike the other actors who have done it where it was a guarantee, they would come in to do a film. You know what I mean?
Yes. Yeah. Fortunately not, because I just think that,
Hey, at least he got to be in Snyder Cut.
Yeah. And he had the most appearance of any Batman actor, so that's something.
That's right. He was a multiple. Was he? Because he was in because he was in goddamn Flash, or whatever.
Flash, and then
for what? 2 minutes.
2 minutes. Yeah, and I mean, because he had like.
To this day, I don't care what anybody says. The Flash was a fucking good movie. I don't give a fuck what anybody says.
Oh, really?
It doesn't matter how fucked up Ezra Miller is. It doesn't matter. It does not make any difference. These motherfuckers that actually come out there and slam that movie and say that Flash was garbage are goddamn stupid.
Hmm.
The only
All right.
reason it did not do well is because of Ezra Miller's fucked up reputation.
Well, and other things.
And,
Changes.
and the lack of popularity of the DC films, you know,
Exactly.
there've been some bad ones, you know what I mean,
Yeah. Ooh, pretty
there
bad
wasn't really a
ones.
lot of enthusiasm to go see a DC film.
Yeah. I mean, also remember, this is like it was after James Gunn announced the like chapter 1 of the Gods and Monsters thing. So we really knew that it was going to reboot it. So like a lot of the the current movies that we're going to get from 2023 of DC.
Oh yeah, you knew that it was going nowhere. It wasn't actually going to be a part of any extended universe or anything like that. It was a one-off.
Exactly. So it just affected the whole like movies and stuff like that.
At the end of the day, too, let's be honest. Out of all the DC characters, Flash is not is one of the least known, kind of superheroes. You know what I'm saying?
I
He's a known thing. People know of the Flash.
Yeah,
but he was never really popular.
Yeah, that's true. It's tough because he had his own show for 9 seasons. That's the thing, and it took so long to make a movie. I don't know. It's really tough.
But let's be honest here, sir. We've talked about what those shows were like on goddamn CW or whatever, and everything. I mean, what was how? Let's be honest. How good was that Flash show really? At the end of the day,
oh, it was like a 7 out of 10. Just not a good show.
I heard it started off pretty decent for a couple of seasons, then it went to shit.
Yes, it did. The last season,
it got to the point where people were like, "Why are they even making the show anymore?"
Yeah. Yep.
Didn't they change actors at some point playing Flash?
No. He was still the same actor. It was just like they did a lot of multiverse and like time travel.
Yeah, they brought in other Flashes. Yeah,
other Flashes and stuff like that.
You know how I feel about the multiverse, sir. I'm not a fan of it, so I can't imagine that was all that great.
Yeah, no, you're not missing much because they don't really stick to it like as a new status quo.
As to what the Marvel Studios did with goddamn the multiverse, man. I'm like, fuck the multiverse.
Yeah, I'm tired of it too.
That was the worst goddamn decision they could have ever fucking made, bro. To actually decide to make the next two phases be all about goddamn the multiverse.
Yeah. True.
All of a sudden, you're forcing every movie that you got coming out to somehow have to have some multiverse angle,
Yeah, it's crazy, but no, I was very sad that Ben Affleck didn't get this movie. But at least one character got her movie. Well, two. One good one, and then one bad one. Wonder Woman. This was Wonder Woman's first.
I still have not felt like I really wanted to. I wanted to sit and actually watch Wonder Woman 2 because I mean, let's be honest, that movie got fucking hammered.
Yeah, you're not missing anything, sir. You're not missing anything.
No, you know me, sir. If I hear that a movie is goddamn awful, I'm not gonna watch it.
Yeah, it's really tough.
I'm not that kind of movie fan or TV fan where like I hear that something is goddamn terrible, but I'm gonna watch it just to make sure, or like just to see how bad it is.
Yeah,
I'm not that kind of watcher or that kind of person. I'm not gonna that this new Star Trek show that came out the last couple weeks ago, or whatever. That's so bad, I guess that like all the YouTubers are hammering it left and right. It's so woke. It's like all so woke and stupid,
Yeah, Starfleet Academy.
Yeah. I've seen some of the scenes of it. It looks fucking horrible, and it looks terrible. It's like basically stupid. You know what I'm saying? Like the characters are goddamn stupid.
Hey, I am.
It's nothing like what Star Trek is usually like.
No. That's what I heard too. But. Yeah,
supposedly it's absolutely terrible. It's like awful.
Yeah, I think one of the actors from this movie is in it. Or let me check.
I mean, it's so bad that like all the creators like Drinker and fucking Nerdrotic and everything. Every episode that comes out, they're just like destroying it.
Oh really? Oh my god! I'm hearing bad things from that show. It's kind of crazy. I don't even think it's gonna.
I reached out to my buddy Jermaine the other day just to ask him about it because they're covering it on his channel. I noticed, and I'm like, bro, how's that going for you, man? Are you enjoying it?
And what was the response?
He didn't say anything back to me, but I mean, honestly, he's a very positive guy and he loves Star Trek. They do all the Star Trek on his channel, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm sure he's probably just going to say it's okay. You know what I mean? But he's like you. You know what I'm saying? You'll say a terrible TV show is just okay.
No, I can say it's a terrible TV show. It's just a few shows.
Now you will, yes. But when I first met you didn't like to do that.
No. Yeah.
Once we hit like the Acolyte and everything, you just said fuck it. You know what I'm saying? And we're like, you know what, this is garbage.
Yeah, Acolyte was the closest.
You were right there with everybody else tearing it down and talking about how piece of shit it was. And
yeah, I think it was the worst one we kind of covered.
Well, you were luckily, thank God, you were not with us for Willow, bro. That would have been a really rough experience.
Yeah,
you could thank I thank Cyber for that for the rest of my life, bro. That he decided that we had to do Willow.
Oh God.
What about Willow made Cyber think that it was going to be a good idea to cover that show? I don't know, but
yeah, it's crazy. I
mean, in all honesty, let's be honest. Willow is not that great of a movie.
It has its moments, but yeah, it's not a strong movie. Yeah.
That movie was goddamn. That TV show was goddamn awful, bro. Disney Plus deleted it from the platform.
Good.
I heard they're gonna do. I heard they're gonna do the same thing to Acolyte.
Yeah, hopefully. I mean, it's not worth keeping your Kylo.
Oh yeah, they might as well drop it off. Who the fuck is gonna watch it?
No one, really. Not even the Star Wars fans want.
If everything that's been said about it, who the fuck is honestly gonna sit down and decide they want to watch the Acolyte?
Yeah. Exactly.
And anybody who's actually watched it is certainly not going to rewatch it.
Yeah, it's
like for crazy. What would you get out of that?
Yeah, I don't know.
So you can like remember how bad it is. Like, I mean,
maybe, but that's what people like. Some people like bad shows, and it doesn't really bother me.
So you can point out other awful shit that happened that you didn't notice the first time. You know what I'm saying?
I know it's kind of crazy, but yeah,
bro. When they had those fucking crazy fucking magic fucking women or whatever singing or whatever.
Oh my God, yeah, for the witches, yes, it was really weird. It was
that was the most embarrassing fucking goddamn bullshit I've ever seen.
Yeah, no, it was pretty bad. Oh my God.
How they thought that was a good idea, I have no idea, bro.
No. It was pretty.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what politics somebody has or what they're into. It does not matter. Who the fuck honestly wants to see lesbian witches singing?
Yeah. Oh my God. And
in Star Wars.
In Star Wars. Yeah, I know. It's crazy that they did that in Star Wars.
That whole fucking show is goddamn crazy, bro. I'm telling you right now, to this day, I'm just amazed that somehow whatever the fuck they wrote down, on paper, to sell that show, you know what I'm saying, to Disney, you know what I'm saying, and get it okayed. You know what I mean? I mean,
yeah.
Whatever they wrote down, as what the show was going to be, must have been very different than what we got.
Yeah. I don't know what they were thinking. I think it just was really bad executed, really messed up the Star Wars lore, which was kind of crazy.
I mean, if they accurately on paper showed Kathleen Kennedy what the Acolyte was actually going to be about, and she still decided it was a good idea to invest $250 million into it, I don't know what the fuck they were thinking.
No, it's kind of crazy. But anyway, your thoughts on Wonder Woman? Do you like her in this movie?
I guess. I mean, in all honesty, it's it's already weird to have a movie that is Batman versus Superman. Let's be honest. That's already weird. You know what I mean? It's a very odd decision to make that kind of film. You know what I'm saying? As opposed to just giving Affleck a Batman film.
Yeah.
Or having a solo Superman film. You know what I mean? the decision to actually have it combined and have it be versus, it's very unique. I don't think it's ever been done before, honestly. You know what I'm saying?
No,
There's never been any other superhero movie where it's literally just one, where it's two superheroes versus each other. You know what I mean?
I mean, well, Civil War came out this year, so we had another one.
Yeah, but that wasn't titled, Iron Man versus Captain America. You know what I mean?
That's true. That's true.
And that wasn't the main point of the film. That develops over across the film.
Yeah, across the film.
It takes the whole movie to build up to them wanting to be against each other. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Kind of agreed. Yeah, no, that's true. Yeah, the title was weird.
I will say that final fucking battle scene between Iron Man and Winter Soldier and fucking Captain America is goddamn awesome.
Yep.
That is one of the most well choreographed fight scenes I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah, it's really good. It's one of the best for the MCU, I gotta say, and the airport too.
To make it work, to make Iron Man fighting the both of them work. You know what I mean, like that.
Yeah. Oh, it's really true.
While at the same time you got Cap throwing his shield and Iron Man using his blasters. You know what I'm saying? Then at the same time, then they're doing hand-to-hand combat. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's really good. I love that sequence as well. I mean, it's a really great fight sequence. Seeing Iron Man.
I think they should have gotten an Oscar nomination for that fucking scene.
Oh yeah, for stonework. Oh, definitely.
I'll never understand that. I get the whole deal with the Academy poo-poos, stuff like superhero movies. Like they don't feel like they deserve to be nominated for Oscars or whatever. But when it comes to the production of the movies, you know what I'm saying? I don't understand why superhero movies would not at least be considered for that part. You know what I mean? For good production,
Yeah, I know. It's kind of weird.
For special effects, you know what I'm saying? For sound,
Visual effects. Actually, visual effects, they've been nominated every time in the Marvels.
So let's be honest. I mean, during the peak of the MCU, those MCU films, they were doing stuff with sound and visuals and special effects that were beyond anything. Nobody else was doing it.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, so far, Spider-Man 2 is the only superhero film that won for best visual effects. So it's crazy.
Yeah.
And we have other superhero films like Dark Knight won. Besides Heath winning for an actor, that movie did one for the sound design and technical stuff.
Well, that was a different kind of deal. You know what I mean? Because because of what happened with Heath Ledger. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. You were talking about the
fact that those particular Batman films that were made by Nolan were actually like drama films. They actually could fit into the drama category.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's
because they were that good.
Yeah, no, that's true. That's the way it worked.
I mean, if you elevate a franchise of superhero films to that level, you know what I mean, and add really solid drama and stuff like that to it, you know what I mean. At that point, the Academy kind of has to pay attention.
Yeah, no, I kind of agree. No, that makes sense. Yeah, that's true. I mean, yeah, the Dark Knight was a little more.
But yeah, you never saw a nomination for fucking what's his name that played Batman. You know what I mean? He never got any. You know what I mean?
Christian Bale. Yeah.
So what does that tell you at the end of the day about Ledger getting the award?
Oh yeah, I mean, yeah, Ledger. That was
the Academy loves concepts like nominating, giving an award to a dead actor. You know what I mean?
Not all the time. It's only rare for the Oscars to do that. Like they didn't do that with Chadwick.
But it was the way he died and how young he was.
Died. Yeah. I mean that was a different.
On top of the fact that it doesn't matter what kind of film it was, anybody who watched the film saw that his performance as Joker was goddamn outstanding. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, you could have never watched a movie in your life and then watch that movie and be able to tell that was a great Joker.
Yeah. No. True. All right. Let's.
So as far as Wonder Woman, I don't know, man. I mean, in all honesty, she kind of feels like a piece of the puzzle that doesn't match. You know what I'm saying? That doesn't fit. You know what I mean? Like, she feels very forced in the movie, and she does not feel like she from a chemistry standpoint in the film, she does not feel like she flows well with the film as a character. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
You know?
yeah, I agree because she just like the Justice League stuff in this movie, it's all shoved in for no reason, just to
Well, yeah,
set
I
up
mean,
Justice
well,
League. You
no,
know?
I mean, well, that's what happened, right? They just inserted her into the movie just to introduce the character. That's all they were doing.
Yeah, exactly. And I feel like she should not be in this movie, but I mean, her moment when
No,
she,
no, from a standpoint of if it actually being a good idea to actually incorporate her into the film, no, that was not a good idea. That was not a good move. A good move.
yeah,
But they,
exactly.
but when hey, let's be honest here. When it comes to making superhero films and the franchises and all that, sometimes you've got to do things like just throw a character into a movie. You know,
Yeah, yeah, that's kind of true.
Marvel's done it.
Yeah, Marvel. Well, yeah, but Marvel had more movies in their belt, and so they were able to do that like
When
more
they did,
successfully.
when they did it, it worked. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, they were. Yeah, yeah. I mean, Civil War, like they introduced Black Panther and Spider Man. You know, so
Marvel did a very, very, very good job of interjecting new characters into films to introduce them, but doing it very well,
yeah,
having it work
exactly,
very
very well.
well,
Exactly, exactly. And this is
having it fit into the movie well. You know what I mean? Having it work with the film. You know what I'm saying?
yeah, exactly.
That's
Yeah.
my point. In this movie, it does not work that way. You know,
No, no.
Wonder Man just feels like she's an accessory to the film that's
Yeah,
there,
Wonder Woman. Yeah.
but you can kind of tell that she's really not a full part of the film.
No, no, it's almost like a shoe in, which is kind of annoying. Because like I like her costume. I like the theme she
Oh
has.
yeah, it definitely affects her like her Wonder Woman status. You know what I mean? Because this movie does not help her as a character.
No, it just it's kind of there. So that's my issue. And same
As,
thing with the
as opposed to her solo film where it elevates the character. It made Wonder Woman great. You know what I mean?
yes, yeah, I agree with that.
You
Um,
know, people can say whatever they want. That first Wonder Woman movie was so good that so entertaining that whether you're a Wonder Woman fan or not, when you watch that movie, you're entertained. It's a good movie.
yeah, I like that movie. It's I know we have
You
different
you
reactions.
you end up liking Wonder Woman by the end,
Yeah, exactly, and
you,
that's why
even
he's
even though the ending does suck.
yeah, yeah. The ending didn't work. Yeah, yeah, yeah. The movie is that third act just suck. But yeah, yeah.
But that's just one small critique. You know what I'm saying? Apparently, Wonder Woman 2 is just goddamn awful all across the board. You know, so
Oh my god, it's really bad. I saw it twice. I don't know why I saw it twice in theaters, but I
I'm surprised Gal Gadot didn't say anything while they were making the movie. Like, I'm surprised she didn't stop for a minute and be like, "Wait a minute, something's not right." You know what I'm saying? Like, I acted in a very good Wonder Woman movie. You know what I mean? I know what that felt like. You know, like
yeah,
something's not going right here.
yeah. It's just I think they just got so greedy because they got so successful, and yeah, they just were kind of blinded by
Well,
the
she's not.
success.
She was not an experienced actor at that point. She was very new, so
Yeah,
it's not like with Daredevil Born Again, where Vincent D'Onofrio and Charlie Cox actually came to Marvel and said, "Hey, something's wrong here with Born Again." You know what I mean? Like, hey, there's a problem. You
yeah,
know?
exactly. Yeah, that's one good thing about those actors. They knew that something was wrong. Yeah, exactly.
Well, they had every right. You know what I'm saying? I mean, who knows those characters better than them? You know what I mean?
Yeah,
And
exactly.
and who knows what a good Daredevil show should look like? You know what I mean? And come off like and feel like than them, considering the fact that they did one. You know?
Yeah,
No, they're. I would take their opinions in a very valid way if I was Kevin Feige about Daredevil. You know what I'm saying?
yeah, yeah, exactly.
If they came to me and told me those things and I was Kevin Feige, I'd be very concerned. I'd be like, all right, there must be a real problem here.
Yeah, no, exactly. I mean,
For actors for actors to even do something and even like that and even go out of their way to actually go out there like that and say something is a big deal.
yeah, exactly. I just yeah, it's pretty
That's
bad.
that's a very ballsy move because I mean it can go either way. It can be received well or not well.
Yeah. Yeah, and thankfully, I mean, at least season one, Born Again was okay. It wasn't bad or good, but it was okay. And at least we got another season where they were more confident to move forward with a new
I mean,
vision.
overall, studios and directors, whatever, really don't want to hear the actors' opinions. In all honesty, on what they're making.
Yeah. No, it's a rare thing because sometimes they don't want to like.
It's different. It's different if the showrunner walks in. You know what I'm saying? You know, or the director walks in, or one of the producers walks in.
Yeah, that's true.
But I believe actually that they actually listed D'Onofrio and Murphy as co-producers of that show. So
Yeah, I think I saw Cox and yeah. Sorry, yeah,
so
Cox.
so technically, it was actually sort of within their role to do that.
Yeah, yeah, it's true. All right, let's kind of wrap this up. You have a rating for Batman v Superman, John of Justice?
Well, I will. I mean, I will point out that I will say that you know, although the movie is very much all over the place as a film, you know, it's very it does not have a lot of cohesion going on. Um, you know, you know, they don't do a very good job of blending the Batman stuff versus the Superman stuff. You
Yeah,
know, and the movie's just kind of all over the place. But the Superman versus Batman actual fight is pretty cool to watch. I will say that.
yeah,
You
it's
know,
good.
I mean, you know, it's a little bit I don't know, like different and kind of like, you know, doesn't really make sense that Batman would actually be able to create a suit that would make him be able to be just as strong as Superman and fight him in hand to hand. You know what I mean? Like, you
Hmm.
know, I know Batman's smart and he knows how to make technology, right? But I mean, you know, um, I mean, you know, you gotta create some kind of really fucking good suit, bro, to be able to fight Superman hand to hand. You know what I'm saying? You know,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
even then, overall, you're not gonna win.
No, no. I mean, he was very lucky. He got the kryptonite to be the thing to
It,
subdue
it,
Superman.
it was a little bit overdone to actually be showing Batman being able to actually fight Superman one on one and stand his ground like that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I can see where you're coming from. I
It, it just kind of contradicts all of history when it comes to like the different power levels of Superman versus Batman. You know?
well, yeah. I mean, I know this is not adapting it, but like in the Dark Knight Returns, like they know each other for a long time. So
No,
like that,
they know each other, but there's always been that understanding, even in the DC animated films where they're friends, but they both know when it boils down to it that Superman is like a goddamn god, and that Batman is just a regular guy with gadgets who's smart.
yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well, well, also,
So they both know that if they actually get in a one on one fight, who's gonna win?
yeah. Well, that's the thing about Superman. He always pull his punches sometimes when he does fight with little Batman sometimes or whoever he's with. Like there's a
They've actually fought in the comics a couple of times.
yeah. It's been a thing.
They
It's
got in some
not.
brawls, like some
Yeah,
arguments or whatever.
yeah, it's been like that. It's not a new thing. I mean, besides,
I could see Superman powering down just to let Batman fight him
yeah,
a little bit. You know what I mean?
yeah, exactly. That's
Because Superman has emotions. You know, if he gets pissed off sometimes. You know what I mean? He wants to fight somebody. You know.
yeah, exactly. So I think if they did that here, it made more sense how Batman can actually defeat him. But because this movie is so dark and so serious, sometimes up his ass, it's kind of hard to like believe that this version of Batman can like go up against Superman because he is super powerful. Superman, this version, you
No, I
know,
mean Batman and Superman don't always agree on things at the end of the day. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying? Like when it comes to you know, strategy or how to handle things. You know what I mean? You know, a lot of times they have different opinions. You know what I'm saying?
yeah. No, I
So
no.
I can see why they would actually get upset with each other. You know, and actually want to fight. You know?
Yeah, and well, but then that's the problem here. It's because like they don't they're meeting for the first time, so it's like really hard to like really like make the fight be like realistically believable. It's like this is the first time they're meeting each other.
There was no time or ability to actually establish a friendship or something like that at that point.
Yes,
There was no way to do that. You know?
yeah, exactly. But yeah, but I do agree with you. This I think the fight they have here was pretty good, but yeah, it's kind of hard to Batman can like defeat
And let's
him.
be honest. I mean, how popular and how entertaining sounding how popular would it really be if the movie was actually based on them becoming friends during the movie? Like, and that was the plot. You know, would that really be all that entertaining?
No, I mean, like like more like frenemies, and then they started to disrespect each other as heroes, something
Yeah.
like that.
I
But
mean, I can see them working together in a movie. You know, what I mean, like coming together to take to tackle on a villain or something. That could work.
yeah, and
Um,
and that's the problem about this movie is they don't do it that way, and that's kind of annoying.
no, they get it to where like it takes for Superman to be dead for Batman to like respect him and like like him and everything.
Yeah, and that's another thing we had to bring out was the death of Superman thing. It's like way too early to do that. Like that should be like another phase to do that for Superman, and not like
Yeah,
the
yeah, it was very weird timing to decide to do that right off the bat, sort of, and like when they were just starting the Snyderverse.
Yeah, well, in general, the DC universe, like in period, like weird. It's just why? Yeah, because I don't know, like I don't know, it was like a mandate from Warner Brothers.
Maybe because Snyder knew that he was going to just bring him back anyway in Justice League or whatever.
Well, yeah, I think that like he knew that, but also I just have a feeling Warner Brothers wanted to do that because it's been like well known that they've been trying to get Superman off the ground, and they've been trying to use the death of Superman as a thing to like get a new Superman movie, but it never worked out, and so I'm wondering if Warner Brothers pushed
No,
Zack Snyder.
it's obviously an attractive event to base a film on because let's be
Oh yeah,
honest,
yeah,
it's one of the most well known epic moments in comic book history. You know what I'm saying? I mean, that's a Superman comic. Was printed like fucking 25 million copies or whatever. It was so popular.
yeah, that's true.
People were buying 10, 25 different editions of it.
Yeah, it's true.
Just to save them because they figured they were going to be worth a lot of money in the future.
Yeah,
My
true.
dad did that when that happened. We weren't DC comic fans, but you better believe my dad went and bought fucking 10 copies of Batman versus Superman, or the Death of Superman.
Yeah,
We became DC comic fans at that moment.
yeah. No,
You
that's
know,
true. Yeah, well, that's for everyone.
I read those comics. You know what I'm saying? Because they were investor items.
Yeah. No. That was the trend back then. Yeah. Yeah.
Yep,
I remember.
that was the environment of comic books back then. Yep, you'd buy a comic just as an investment.
Yeah. And unfortunately, that hurt it
You know,
in the long run.
and sometimes you'd buy 5 of them or 10 of them of the comic.
Yeah. Yeah. It's crazy. It's crazy they did that, but it happened. But yeah.
And then there were crazy people that were actually buying, numbers of copies of comics that 200, 500 copies. You know what I'm saying? Crazy. You know what I'm saying? Because there was that belief that they were like that comics were such a great investment. You know what I mean? That
Yeah.
like no matter what, you were going to get your money back. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Which did
Yeah.
not end up true.
Nope. It did not. It did not ended up that way.
And a lot of goddamn comic book collectors and investors lost a lot of money on it and ended up stuck with a lot of comics.
Yep. And pretty much hurt the market of comic books in general.
There's motherfuckers out there to this day on eBay selling those comics.
Yeah. That's very true.
That's the truth. They're to this day, man. They're out there still selling those comics.
Yeah. I cannot imagine the inventory they had. Yeah, it's very true. All right.
And for whatever reason, man, in the 80s, there was this big deal where, for whatever reason, for a couple of years there, it became this big deal that comic books were the best real estate you could buy.
Yeah.
That was everybody was saying that, man. The business people were saying that. I mean, people who were not even comic book fans were showing up at comic book conventions to buy comics.
Of course. Yeah. Well. Yeah. No. I mean, it was.
People who didn't even read comics all of a sudden were investing into comics and buying comics.
Well, yeah, because they made like a big deal out of it that it's going to be a fortune later on. Which it was not true. It just they understood what made the other comics well worth. It's kind of weird.
There were a lot of just random everyday people out there that heard about the opportunity or whatever and decided to go ahead and spend their life savings or drop $50,000 on comic books all of a sudden. You know what I mean? And make that their this big investment.
Yeah. No, I kind of agreed. But yeah, it was.
And then, of course, at the same time, the comic book industry started overprinting comics because of it. So they were actually creating way too many copies of issues of comics.
Yeah, no, that's very true.
Which would get dumped onto the comic book shop owners. You know what I'm saying? That they get stuck with the inventory.
Yeah, and that was not good for them. Unfortunately, the comic book owners.
No, it hurt. It hurt the comic book businesses, the comic book shops.
Yeah,
they got stuck. They got stuck with all this excess inventory. What are you going to do with it?
Yeah,
nobody's buying it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and was those issues iconic as like some of the other ones, right? Like you don't know, like what's worth the price, it was crazy.
And then you had Marvel actually buying into it too, where like they were trying to literally like every other week they were trying to make a Spider-Man. They every other week there'd be a special hologram character front or whatever to the comic or what I mean
yeah.
Every first episode of a new title was like had a special artist draw the front, and it was bagged in a special bag, and
yeah, and they didn't help themselves, and they went bankrupt in the middle of the 90s, and
I mean just the fact that they were selling them bagged just tells you that they were selling them as investments.
Yeah. Yeah, no. I get it. It was bad investment. It wasn't really good business decision for all the companies.
Well, I mean, from a business standpoint, Marvel was just trying to capitalize on the trend. You know what I mean? It made sense, from a business standpoint,
Yeah.
When you know that like comics are considered this huge investment property, and people are buying them up, of course you're going to go ahead and just start making a lot of them.
Yeah. Yeah, it's pretty tough. All right. Rating? Do you have a rating for this movie?
I'd say I'd probably give it like a 6.5.
Yeah.
It's not a really great movie.
No, it's not a great movie.
And I will say, even I to this day, I sold my comic book collection, but before I sold it, I even had several specific issues of comic books where I had 15, 20, 25 copies of them.
Oh, really? Oh, that's cool.
For some reason, my dad thought Image Comics were some kind of good investment back in the day, so I ended up with all this huge stacks of all these Image comics.
Oh my god, that is funny.
Yeah, my dad must have thought that Image was going to be like a really good investment or something or whatever, because he went out and bought like every new Image, title that would come out. He'd go out and start buying them.
Oh, I don't know if it kind of makes sense because like Image had the best artists
when Spawn came out, it was a really big deal.
Oh yeah, if it was Spawn, yeah, but no, it makes sense what your dad.
But overall, the other titles that they put out besides Spawn, they were not really great comics.
No, my friends and some YouTube channels, the comics were not like high quality. It was just like there,
Is Image isn't even a thing anymore, right? There is no Image Comics anymore.
No, Image Comics is still doing well. I mean, that's the reason we got Walking Dead. It's because of Image Comics. They just do more like
Walking Dead was Image Comics.
Yes.
I didn't know that.
Oh yeah, hold on, because it's from the Image Comics during the mid 2000s. So,
wow, that must have been a big hit for them.
Exactly. Well, because you remember the.
I mean, I don't really know how popular that comic really was, but.
Yeah, well, because remember, after the 90s, the mantra for Image Comics was the creators can own their own properties compared to Marvel and DC.
What do you mean? What do you mean? Explain this to me.
So when Image Comics was founded by the high profile
McFarlane.
Yeah, McFarlane, Jim Lee, Liefeld, whatever.
Yeah, his whole team.
Yeah, they wanted to
all those young comic book writers and artists and everything.
Yeah, so they wanted like a venue for like their own created properties in which like the comic creators could publish their material with of their own
So,
creation
so what you're
without.
basically telling me is that when a creator would come in with their own idea for a comic to create their own comic book, they would actually get paid
Yes,
for having created the comic themselves.
yeah, without giving up the copyrights to those properties. That's why it was a big deal for Image, and that's why.
So they would maintain the copyrights as well.
Yeah, exactly, and so that's why it made Image so popular, and that's how like Kirkman.
It made it popular for creators, people who had comics they wanted to create new comics.
Exactly. So and yeah, it was because it wasn't the norm for like for creators to have that, because the only two companies that were, Marvel, DC didn't allow that. So yeah,
I did not know that. I forgot that, or I just did not know that. I did not realize that the creators of the comics did not actually get the copyrights and all that. I didn't know that.
no, it's one of those well known things about the comics that the creators don't own
And
it.
you didn't even own your own titles.
Yeah, exactly. And if you like that's why Bill Finger was not co-created as Batman because because Bob Kane had this weird contract where he like signed him away.
Well,
And
that whole system must have been at least okay, because let's be honest here. I mean, when you watch documentaries, people who worked in the comic industry back in the day, you don't hear them complaining very much. They all seem very happy about it. They
except
all
for them,
they
well,
all say
because
that they all talk about that time period, what it was like working in Marvel and all that, as these great times.
yeah, but not all the time. Like some of it, it depends on. I mean, for certain creators, but like in general,
There were problems, of course, like any business. You know what I'm saying? There would be problems between personnel. You know what I mean? Certain people wouldn't like each other, and you know what I'm saying, and certain editors did not want to work with other pencilers, or drawers or whatever, and yeah, there was that, you know what I mean?
yeah,
Sometimes the head the big people the head people at Marvel would put too much pressure on the actual creators and writers and artists to push out the comics, that
deadlines,
stuff,
yeah,
yeah,
deadlines, all that, yeah,
which would force the actual comic book creators to actually work crazy hours, be up all night working.
yeah, which was not good. Yeah,
Oh
that's
no,
why.
I'm sure in that kind of industry, I'm sure you probably used to work pretty much whatever, just constantly. Like, you probably didn't even have a set schedule.
Yeah,
It,
exactly.
it, it was basically you came in the beginning of the day, and who the fuck knows how long you'd be there.
Yeah, um, yeah, it's
Which is pretty intense. You know what I'm saying? I've heard of other jobs like that where it's like that.
yeah. No, it's not only that. Yeah, it's everywhere in the job business.
It's like
Sometimes,
that. The newspaper business is like that too. If you work in the newspaper industry, you
yeah.
never know. You never know how many hours you're going to work.
No, and even the pay is like low. I suspect it. It's
Yeah,
crazy.
you would not imagine that a newspaper job would be a high paying job. No,
No, yeah. So that's
but
that's why
the whole process though of watching them, how it works, how they make the papers and all that kind of shit. The whole process, I've watched it before on TV. It's actually very fun to watch, very interesting.
yeah. No,
All
it's
all,
really
all, all
interesting.
the different steps involved in the process. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah. I know. I agree. It's very interesting, and but at the same time, it's kind of like, oh. So yeah, that's why The Walking Dead was successful because of that, and it's just
Well, wait a minute. How did that make it successful? All that did was help the creator. How did that make the,
yeah,
the,
yeah.
the comic
Well,
popular?
no. I mean, it was successful. Like I mean, like it's one of those rare things, like a successful own like because independent, property to become this pop culture
I,
phenomenon.
I I get it. You're saying that as in that situation, in this new sort of like dichotomy, where he owns his own book, it being successful would be like a new thing.
Yeah.
But I'm saying that would not have affected the popularity of the comic, or like the success of sales. You know what I mean? That the,
No.
the comic the comic itself would have to make that happen.
Yeah. Let me check about that.
I mean, The Walking Dead came out when the comic book industry was just starting to bounce back and come back
Yeah,
after the bust, right?
yeah. It started in 2003, so yeah, like around like the kind of
Yeah,
restructure and then yeah,
because
rebuild.
it was in the early 2000s when the industry started to kind of come back and they started to kind of get it back together again. You know.
Yeah. This comic ran from 193 issues, from 2003 and 2019. Crazy.
Well, I mean, I was out of comic collecting at that point, so I wouldn't even have known about The Walking Dead. You know,
Yeah,
I didn't know there was a Walking Dead comic till I watched The Walking Dead.
yeah. No, I didn't know it was a comic book until I got into the show. Yeah,
And I have to imagine that, in all honesty, you know, the actual group of people, you know, that make up the ones that actually did know about the comic before the show came out is probably a pretty small group of people. It's probably not a massive group.
yeah. But yeah, I mean, because like when it came out, like that's when the zombies became more popular. So I mean, it had a niche, like audience.
Well, I mean,
But
hey,
yeah,
along with the success of Marvel Studios, Robert Kirkman's Walking Dead was the first, proven success that you could actually take a comic book, you know, and make a super popular TV show out of it. You know what I mean? At
yeah.
that point, nobody else had done it.
No, no, it's no that became successful.
You know,
Um,
at that point, we got movies, but not shows. You know,
yeah, yeah. All right. Just wrapping up my rating for this movie. It's I'll kind of give it like a low 5 out of 10. There's some good things about the movie, BVS, and I thought the performances of the actors were good. I mean, except for Henry Cavill Superman, I like him as an actor. I mean, he's great, but I don't connect to his Superman. But Ben Affleck's Batman is really great, and I think the visual effects and the like fight scenes were good. It's just it's over stuff, and like it's too serious. It's just there's no like humor in the
I
film.
I love seeing Affleck Batman fucking killing people and shooting guns at people. You know what I'm saying? And fucking being super violent the way he fights. You know what I mean? You know, with his hand to hand combat, being really violent. You know, like wanting to actually like injure and hurt people. You know what I mean?
Good for you. I guess it's for
You
everyone.
don't find it entertaining when he's like that.
I mean, you have to understand, I'm a Batman fan. That's not the kind of Batman I'm looking for.
Oh,
But
so because it's not true to the character, you don't like it?
yeah, I mean, I'm not. I don't care about the killing. That's something I can accept. And it's just that the violence. Like I don't think you need to go
I mean,
too violent.
I'm not a hardcore Batman fan, but I just saw it as like, hey, this is a different, cool version of Batman. You know?
Yeah, but I will say one cool thing is the costume. I really like the new Batman costume. Very comic book accurate. That's was the one thing I did like what Stack did. So, and yeah, I did like
Yeah.
the
It looked
warehouse.
it,
The
it looked
warehouse.
it looked very militaristic, very much like very much like a very like violent like wanting to go into battle. You know what I mean? Type Batman. You know?
Yeah, exactly. And that's a fine version. That's something we haven't really done before, so it's good. I like the warehouse fight scene. That's something I will agree you on that. That one was really good. That's how Batman should fight. Because it felt like an Arkham video game kind of like fight sequence. Which was
But the film does not at all portray any of the actual Batman elements that are known to Batman. You know,
no,
like
no.
none of the actual espionage or the surveillance stuff he has in the Batcave and all that kind of
Uh,
stuff. None of
the
that is there.
detective stuff. Yeah, yeah. Um,
None of that happens. You know.
exactly. And so that it kind of like ducks down to Ben Affleck's version, fortunately.
There's not really a lot of Bruce Wayne stuff at all. You know.
Yeah, very little. I mean, just besides Alfred and then some, scenes. I mean, we don't get too much of Wayne Enterprises. It's very little.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I thought Affleck's performance of Bruce Wayne was pretty good. I liked it.
yeah, I like it too. It's really good. I wish he got a solo film because I think he was definitely could have been really great Batman because he had potential.
He's a lot better than a lot of the other actors who played Batman in the '90s. I can tell you right now.
Oh yeah, I mean he's better than Clooney, Val, like definitely. Keaton,
Yeah, Yeah, Val was not a good Batman, bro. George Clooney was not a good Batman. He was not a good fit at all.
No, George Clooney's Batman wasn't a good Batman.
George Clooney was one of the worst casting as Batman in history.
Yeah, I mean, if he had a better script, I think he could have been a good Batman. But the film
again, that was literally a very simple situation, a very Hollywood situation where because he was so popular, everybody wanted him in their films. You know what I'm saying? He was so in demand. You know, so they just immediately put him in as Batman. You know, it didn't matter if it made sense. It didn't matter if it fit.
Yeah. No, can I agree?
Yeah. It was George Clooney, so of course it'll work.
Yeah, and it didn't. But anyway,
you know, right. Unfortunately, at that time period, are you in a rush to get out of here, sir?
Remember, I have a job tomorrow, so I have to.
Oh, you have to go to work in the morning.
Yeah. So I have to be on time. So I need to.
Pardon me, sir. I'm used to our usual Sunday deal where we don't have any time limits, and you know what I'm saying, you know, and whatever, you know.
Yeah, no, my bad. I should explain more that I have a job tomorrow, and like I.
I respect that, sir. I respect that 100%. You got a job. That's totally fine. You know, I just I enjoy normally the fact that we do just kind of ramble on and you know talk, you know, whatever. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, you know what's funny? I didn't understand the system I have for my for the accepting my job, and I saw that I had to click on the days to accept it, and so it was so weird. So it took me a while to understand what it was about, and so I had to click it today because I wanted to start working soon, you know, and get the money and all that.
So, you can actually start working online, like on your own?
No, it's like how you clock in, clock out in the digital space, and so you have to do it in digital, in the computer. Like you have
okay. You clock in like on an app or something like that.
Yeah, app or something like that, and then I accept the assignment, and then I go over there to the school in the morning and all that. So it's all new to me.
It makes sense that in the year 2026 that they would have probably advanced the way that that's handled. You know, they would have apps and things like that. You know.
Yeah. Oh, I agree. All right, let's wrap it up with the trailer reactions, and thank goodness we have the best trailers for this week. So I got two of the best trailers here. We got Doom Part 3 and Spider-Man Brand New Day. Very excited to show you.
That's good because the last time I saw Spider-Man Brand New Day, I barely paid attention to it. So this time I can actually focus on it.
Okay. Do you want to go for that one first? Brand New Day.
It's your show, sir. I don't care.
Yeah, let me say Doom Part 3 last, because Spider-Man Brand New Day it's the big one for people. All right, let's do it.
I can't believe our first hit.
Oh, perfect.
My team. MJ, come on, pretend like you're not the happiest you've ever been in your entire life.
I can't.
I knew it.
Hi, my name is Peter Parker.
What's going on?
You don't remember me, but we used to know each other.
I don't see it.
Was going to happen. No. And the only way to stop it
cannot see it?
Was to make everyone forget
all I see is DC Comics.
Okay, let me stop this here.
Yeah, all I hear is the audio. There's no video.
Okay, let me do this and remove it. All right, so now, can you see it now?
Yes.
Okay.
I can't believe our first hit in my team. MJ, come on, pretend like you're not the happiest you've ever been in your entire life.
I can't.
I knew it.
Hi, my name is Peter Parker. You don't remember me, but we used to know each other. Something bad was going to happen, and the only way to stop it was to make everyone forget about me. Because I'm not just Peter Parker. I'm Spider-Man.
The hell, Frank? You just hit me with a van!
Quit your whimpering. Suit yourself. the...
Go home!
And sometimes Spider-Man has to do the hard thing, even if it breaks Peter Parker's heart. What is happening to me? Oh, God. Excuse me, Dr. Banner. I need your help.
What did you say your name was? If DNA is mutating, it would be enormously dangerous.
Spiders have 3 life cycles. When between cycles, it can leave the spider vulnerable to threats.
We are faced with a danger that we can't control. One we can't even see. Stay out of my way.
You're losing it, kid.
And for those spiders who make it through, it amounts to a kind of rebirth.
Nice flowers.
Oh, they're a housewarming gift.
I'm MJ.
I'm just a neighbor from across the hall.
Friendly neighbor.
That was the teaser of Brand New Day. Finally, we got the trailer. I was so happy we finally got a trailer this week. It came out Wednesday, the day before, after the Doom Part 3 came out.
I couldn't tell who all the villains were. I didn't.
Oh yeah. So
I saw Scorpion.
yeah, Scorpion's obviously the one is called Boomerang. He's like a very obscure C-list villain. And then the one with the blade in the boot is called Tarantula. That's another like other.
I didn't notice him.
Yeah. So
is he with the hand? Was he with the hand?
No, that's separate. The one, the ninjas are the hand. That was a big surprise. I didn't know they were going to be in this movie.
Oh yeah, the hand's awesome, bro. I love the hand.
Yeah, so that's cool, and it makes sense. And
like we were talking about on the Facebook Messenger or whatever. Like I just don't see how they're going to connect him without Daredevil. Or the Punisher maybe.
If that shot.
I can see how the Punisher could get mixed up with the hand. You know what I mean? With Yakuza,
I know this. I don't know. You remember how in Spider-Man No Way Home, the trailers, when there was a shot where like Lizard got kicked, but we didn't know that was actually a Spider-Man kicking the Lizard in his face. And I feel like that shot when we saw Spider-Man leaping down towards the hand, I think Daredevil is in this movie. It's just that they're not saying anything, and I think it's not going to be a large role for Daredevil.
Oh, it would make perfect sense. He was in the last movie. It would make sense it's a common.
Yeah, exactly.
It's a common Hollywood thing, to put him in the next one too. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. So I think Daredevil's in.
And plus, we didn't get to see him in the suit the first time.
No, and he has a second season this year, so I mean, this movie is kind of after.
Yeah, and there's going to be a third and fourth season of Born Again too. You know what I mean? So it makes sense that they would want to have him around, and give him other appearances.
Yeah, exactly.
It's good. It's good publicity for him and for his show.
Yeah, exactly. And so I think I have a feeling that Daredevil is in this movie, and I don't know how
I can see Charlie Cox breaking Spider-Man out of jail. I can see him being willing to do something like that. He's usually not the type of superhero that likes to break the law. You know what I mean? But I can see him doing it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, yeah.
I mean, honestly, Matt Murdock is a very intelligent guy. You know what I'm saying? And he actually does. He has a little bit of technology knowledge too. And exactly. he's got espionage skills. You know what I'm saying? So I can see him being able to sneak into a prison and get him out.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
But I don't know why the hand would want to attack him right then.
Yeah. We need to see the movie. What was that context? Because it's so out.
Like he's getting broke out of prison. Why right at that moment would he be attacked?
Yeah, it has to be with that guy from Severance. I don't know. Is connected to Sadie Sink's character and that part, but we'll see.
There's a guy from Severance in there.
Oh yeah, Mr. Milkshake. the guy he was talking, like here. Let me pull it up again. So at the stage.
How would you know he's from Severance? You didn't watch Severance.
No, I recognize him. Hold on. Just give me a minute. Yeah, no, he was in I saw him first in Mission Impossible, the last movie. He was in that, and I was like, oh, that's the guy from Severance. My friends were talking about. Just give me a minute. It's coming.
Are you talking about that kind of short Hispanic guy with curly hair?
This one. This is the guy, Mr. Milkshake.
Oh, his character in Severance is fucking awesome. He is so bizarre. He plays this crazy, bizarre character that works for that crazy, like, menacing employer that all the employees work for, that crazy business. He's one of he's one of their operatives, one of their employees.
Yeah,
but he's not one that's severed. He doesn't actually have the severance chip or whatever. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, really? Okay.
So he actually lives a normal life. You know what I mean? Like, when he leaves work, he's still the same person. You know what I mean?
Okay. That makes sense.
They have two different sets of employees at that company. The higher ups, the supervisors and stuff, they don't actually have the severance. Only the employees themselves are severed. Right.
That's where Adam Scott's character is. Like, he has the chip. Because I seen that.
Yes, and it's very fucked up. Like watching them live their lives with the severance. You know what I'm saying? How it actually affects them in their lives. You know what I mean? It's very fucked up to where, the actual concept of it being like somehow positive to live that way is not true. It turns out that like once you detach from work and you go back to your real life starts getting fucked up. You know what I'm saying? Like, it doesn't feel right. You know what I mean? Like something's wrong,
Something wrong, yeah.
Like something's missing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. No. That's why I hear why my friends like that show. Is very crazy.
Your memories get affected by it. You don't remember things for some reason. Like, you forget that you had a dead wife because of it, You know what I mean? And the dead wife actually works at the company and you you interact with her and don't even realize it's your dead wife. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
The one guy doesn't even know that he has kids for some reason, even though he's severed and he actually is supposed to be living his real life. For some reason, he doesn't know that he has children until literally fucking that guy, the black guy, hits some button that they have where they can temporarily actually wake up the severed person. You know what I mean?
Really?
Like they can activate them to where they're both people. They're the work person and the real person at the same time. And all of a sudden the guy meets his kids for the first time and realizes he has kids.
Oh wow. That is
but for some reason the company is keeping it from him that he has children.
It's children. Wow, that's crazy. Yep, definitely need to see this show.
It's fucking bizarre, bro. It none of it makes sense. Even you have no idea what they're even doing at work or what they're even trying to accomplish. Their jobs, what they do in their jobs, make no sense.
Wow, crazy.
They're bizarre. I mean, they're not anything. They're not anything that would make money. Like nothing they do at work would actually make money.
Really? Wow. And what they're doing is crazy.
They don't build or sell anything. I mean, nothing. They have one whole department that's their whole job is to create paintings that include the owner of the company. That's been his family's been owning the company for hundreds of years or whatever. And all they do is create these paintings with the leader or whatever that are then put up around in the hallways of the building. That's all they do.
They all do. Okay.
And they also create brochures, little pamphlets that depict crazy fucked up images that show the other departments of the job at the company as like murderous or villainous cannibals.
That's
so all the different departments have these crazy beliefs that like the other departments are like murderers and like cannibals and
all that.
And they're all separated. They don't interact at all. All the different departments are completely separated.
Oh, separate. Okay.
They're completely contained into one space.
Yeah, I saw a little clip of that. They were like a solid room that's separately from the
And,
other
and,
ones.
and they make the office building massive. It feels massive. You know what I'm saying? So, like, it's endless. There's just all these hallways that just stretch on forever.
Oh my god, that's crazy.
They shoot in apparently some massively sized office building in New Jersey that I've never heard of. I suppose I guess it's just gigantic. It's like the biggest office building ever.
Yeah, oh my god.
They shoot at that.
Okay.
They build sets too, you know what I'm saying, in New York, because they shoot the show in New York, believe it or not.
Oh, okay. Yeah, the big one is in the Bell Works in Heldon, New Jersey. That's where like they use the like development facility.
Yeah, they use special effects and sets to also augment and make everything look so big, you know what I mean? But a lot of the standards office shots, a lot of like the main settings, like the rooms where they work and all that, that's in the Jersey place.
Yeah, it's between like Houston Valley, New York, and New Jersey. Yeah, that's where there's locations that are shooting at.
I saw a picture of it from Google Maps. It's huge.
Yeah, I'm looking at it right now. Whoa, pretty interesting.
Like I don't know what they're doing with it. I don't know if they have a lot of occupancy. You know what I mean? If a lot of businesses working it, I don't know.
Yeah, it's like a.
I mean, if you're gonna build an office building that big, you're gonna need a lot of different fucking companies that want to work there.
Yeah. Yeah. Whoa, really interesting. Wow, that's cool.
It's very interesting that Apple TV does not shoot. They don't shoot their shows in California all the time. They're not like the other studios. They don't actually have a lot.
No, right. They usually, that's a good point.
So they shoot in random locations, just random states and stuff like that.
Yeah. If they have, like have permits and all that. Yeah, that's true. Oh, yeah, that's a good point. Yeah.
Yeah, they have no actual lot.
No, not like the other studios. Yeah.
Why they haven't bought one yet? I have no idea. You think they would have by now?
Well, I just think it's California. I don't think they want to set it over there. They probably want to go somewhere that's a little more like acceptable in terms of pay.
But I mean, let's be honest. It's always been well known that like for that for tax reasons and everything and this and that. Los Angeles, California is the perfect place to make movies.
Well, I mean, yeah, but
that and the weather. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You got warm weather year round. You know what I mean? So you can actually shoot outside during winter.
Yeah, true. But unfortunately, LA.
I mean, initially back in the day, way back in the day, in the 20s and 30s, that's why they started going to Hollywood. That and the fact that what's his name, Bell or whatever, the inventor or whatever, worked out a deal where you had to pay him to make movies.
Yeah, true.
Any movie you made, you had to pay him.
Pay him. Yep, that's a good point.
So to get out of that deal, they go to California.
Yeah.
Because that's how rogue America used to be back in the day. If you wanted to just avoid a legal contract or something like that, you just left state.
Yeah. Yeah. Right now, currently, I think LA is just having a tough time having studios working over there in California because of the huge I don't know, like paving or like.
Well, in all honesty, all the studios aren't in Los Angeles. Some of them are in other places like Burbank and but they're in California.
Yeah. I don't know what's going on with that. I just know that something's going on with the shooting over there has been helpful or really inexpensive for some of the studios to shoot there anymore. So they're going over other places like UK and Atlanta or, here in New Jersey to like shoot their shows and whatnot, Yeah,
I don't know. In all honesty, how much available land is there in Los Angeles to be able to buy?
Yeah,
you need a lot of space to build a studio,
Yeah, exactly. I don't know if it's a space thing that they cannot use, Yeah.
But plus, how the most real estate in California is the most expensive real estate in the goddamn country. You know what I'm saying? So it's not cheap to buy a massive 500-acre lot.
No, no, it isn't. But
But let's be honest, very few television shows get shot in New York these days. Unless the show's actually in New York, like Daredevil or
or any project that is like their story is set in New York.
Spider-Man, yeah.
Spider-Man, yeah. Yeah. Oh, and some of these shots from the villains are recreation of the comic books too. This one, of course, is Amazing Fantasy 14, the first appearance of Spider-Man. That's Boomerang that they're recreating the first issue when the villain appear in Spider-Man. Same thing here. This is
I haven't even heard of some of these villains. I didn't even know about Boomerang, and I'm a Spider-Man comic fan, and I never heard of Boomerang.
Oh, he's a new one. He's I think he was created during the 90s or something like that. Yeah, let me fully
the only Boomerang character I ever known on was the one from DC.
Yeah, Captain Boomerang. Yeah, so he doesn't have a page.
I think I've heard of the samurai guy. Him I've heard of.
Yeah, Tarantula.
Tarantula. I've heard of Tarantula. Yes, he's a mercenary.
Yeah, so he's from the Amazing Spider-Man issue.
In the comics, he does not have a costume like that. He doesn't look like that.
No, they cover his face here, and the only they don't give him the logo, but it's just a very realistic suit.
Yeah, he doesn't wear a face mask.
No, so it's a new thing they're doing, but the most part it's comic accurate with the boots and the shark thing.
Yeah, he's a hand-to-hand combat specialist.
Yeah, exactly.
I've actually seen him team up with the Punisher before in the comics and actually work with the Punisher, Tarantula.
Oh, really? Oh, that is interesting. That makes a lot of sense. Why they're
yeah. The Punisher works with villains, man. Why not? He doesn't give a fuck.
True. Oh,
and mercenaries and shit. Why would the Punisher care?
Yeah, it's just weird. Yeah, seeing the hand here,
the Punisher doesn't really care very much about people's characters and stuff like that or whatever, or what kind of if you're a good person or not. You know what I mean? That doesn't really matter to him.
Yeah.
It's really cool seeing him interact with Spider-Man because obviously now they've met already. You know what I mean? And
yes, they know each other.
They know each other. You know what I mean? So they're friends, kind of. You know what I'm saying? They bump into each other now. To where he knows him by Frank and everything.
Yeah, which is cool. I did not expect that.
And I'm sure for Punisher, he's just the Spider-Man is just kind of irritating to him. Fucking bothers him.
Yeah, and I did
tolerates them, but it's kind of what the fuck, you know what I mean? Doesn't like the fact that Spider-Man doesn't kill anybody,
Yep, exactly. And I like the part where he's going to curse and then he gets whipped, which is nice.
It looks like he gets some decent screen time in the film.
Yeah, I'm very happy we're seeing Frank Castle in the movie. So
I'm very shocked, honestly, to this day that they even decided to put the Punisher in the Spider-Man movie.
Yeah, but it may out of the Defenders, it kind of makes sense because he first appeared in Spider-Man. But yeah.
Yeah, but just because he first appeared in Spider-Man does not make him, you know what I'm saying?
Well, yeah, not the obvious choice.
He was never a consistent ally of Spider-Man's. They would only interact very occasionally. You know what I mean?
Yeah, well, he was mostly a adversary against Spider-Man, and then later on he became
no. After that first appearance where he hunted him down or whatever. After that, they always had a cordial relationship. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's true.
They weren't friends, but they weren't enemies. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, that's true. That's true. You know more about the Punisher.
Punisher respected Spider-Man, of course. You know what I'm saying? Punisher respects superheroes. You know what I mean? He respects Captain America. And what they do. You know what I mean? He just doesn't believe it in it. You know what I mean? He thinks they're stupid.
Yeah.
Because they're arresting them, not killing them. You know what I mean?
Yeah, sure.
Which to Frank is just stupid.
Yeah.
I don't know what to think of this whole deal with the cocooning and he's actually becoming a Spider-Man and all that. I do not believe for a minute he's actually going to become Man Spider. I do not believe it.
I I was going to ask you that idea.
I believe his DNA can get altered, and I guess he started shooting webs out of his own hands and all that. I get all that, but besides that, maybe there'll be some other side effects or whatever. But he's not going to actually become goddamn a spider.
I don't know. I kind of want. I don't want to see it, but I think that could be an interesting.
I don't either. I'm trying to explain it to Cyber the other day. I'm telling Cyber like on the message, I'm like, Cyber, you don't get it, bro. I know it seems fun, like interesting to you, but it's not going to work. People are not going to like it.
Yeah, I mean, I don't like spiders, but I see it in the cartoon, and
it's not an entertaining deal. You know what I'm saying? He can't talk anymore. You know what I'm saying? He can't think straight. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I don't think they're going to do it. I just think this is going to be another mutate, level for his powers to be upgraded, I guess. But yeah, it's very interesting they're going in that route. But yeah. It'd be weird that they do Man Spider in this movie.
I can't even remember. Did this Spider-Man actually get bit by the spider?
Yeah, I mean,
he did. I just couldn't remember. It's been so long.
I mean, it's presumably. We didn't see his origin story. That's the thing. It's like they skipped.
Oh, that's right. We never actually saw that, did we?
No.
When you go right into the first Spider-Man film, he already has the powers.
Yeah, well, and when we see him in Civil War first, we don't see it. We just
so we just assume that he got bit by the spider.
Yeah, exactly. It's not like Toby.
So now they're saying that because of that spider bite, over time, dormantly, there are now effects that are coming from it now later down the road.
Yeah, I think that's what they're doing in this movie. And that makes a lot of sense, and I don't have a problem with that. So
Tom Holland got more muscular, bro. He got in the gym.
Yeah, I know. He looks really good.
He's older now. It makes sense. He's older. You know what I'm saying? He's
29. 29 he's this year, yeah.
His character is older. He's aged.
Yeah, and he's in college now, so that makes sense.
Yeah, and it would make sense. It would make sense that maybe he would decide to go to the gym. Why not?
Yeah. So yeah, I'm very curious about that.
I mean, what else does he have to do? You know what I'm saying? Besides being Spider-Man and going to college, or I didn't even see him going to college in that trailer, so we don't even know if he's going to college.
Hold on.
For all we know, he could just literally be being Spider-Man, and that's it.
Right here, the shirt says Empire State University. He's going there, and
but for all we know, he's literally only there just to go see Banner.
Yeah. We'll see it, but I think he is going to college. It's just that we don't see enough in the trailer.
It's one or two things. He's either got a job or he's going to college.
That's the weird part. It's say in the
synopsis. You would immediately assume that he would have had scholarship opportunities to go to college based off of his grades, right? That makes sense. Well, but the question is, coming off the last movie, does he even have the desire to go to college anymore? You know what I'm saying?
He was studying his GAT the last time we saw Spider-Man No Way Home towards the end of the movie. So he was already doing the college thing.
He was already doing. Oh, you're talking about the college programs he was taking in high school.
No. The GIT is a thing for a college, like you study to get into the college.
Okay.
There was a book called GIT in his belongings when he was moving into his new apartment towards the end of No Way Home.
Well, there's a lot of well-known prestige, colleges and scientific colleges and stuff like that in New York.
Yeah, that's true. And I mean, I'm very curious what college he went to, because we know that from this trailer, MJ and Ned's is in MIT. So,
but he's got his own apartment now. He's got to pay rent too. So.
Yeah, they probably would just do a small reference that he's, I don't know, doing something. Maybe in a lab.
Obviously, they have no desire to actually do the whole, him working for the newspaper and.
No, it doesn't make sense now. Because it makes sense during the 60s and that at the time when newspaper is important, but now it's different now.
It's not relevant. Yes,
Exactly, it's not relevant, and so in the new stuff, like
it would make more sense now for him to actually be like a content creator and be like shooting videos. You know what I'm saying, and selling them or whatever. Or making money off content.
Yeah. That's what Shazam did in his first movie. Like they were showing videos of him in YouTube.
That would be legal. There'd be nothing illegal of being a superhero and actually shooting yourself fighting crime. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. I just want to bring up this lady is from Daredevil Born Again, so another connection to that. She's one of the supervisor of Kingpin's campaign and all that. So.
Oh yeah, I can't remember.
Yeah, it's a long time ago.
Zendaya's getting a lot older, man. I saw she's in a new romantic comedy that's like an adult one.
The drama, yes, starring Robert Pattinson, the Batman. Yep, that I'm hearing good things about that one. It's pretty cool.
She's getting big roles now.
Yeah, and this is and the one you were talking about, the drama.
Supposedly her show on HBO is pretty good.
Yeah, it's coming out next month, April, season 3.
The new season, yeah.
Yeah, you're.
I guess it's like a very a very sexually orientated like high school drama.
Yeah, I saw a couple of episodes.
There's a lot of nudity and sexual stuff.
Yep, all the stuff you want.
all the usual HBO stuff that we like to get.
Yes. Yeah, and of course she's in the Odyssey, Christopher Nolan's new movie, and of course Dune Part 3.
She's in the Odyssey?
Yeah, with Tom Holland as well.
Tom Holland's in the Odyssey?
Yep. Yeah, so there's a lot of
that's that trailer you showed me a couple months ago.
Yes.
That Roman Times movie or whatever.
Yes. Yeah, Tom Holland's in it. Even the Punisher here is in that movie too. Yeah.
Oh, Bernthal's in it? No shit.
Yep. And of course, her last movie is going to be Dune Part 3, and she's going to be in that.
Yeah, she's very good in Dune too. That was a very good casting move for her.
Yeah, really good.
She performs a very accurate portrayal of whatever her name is, Paul's love interest.
Yeah.
I forget her name right now. It's been a long time since I thought about Dune.
Shanti. Shan.
Yeah.
The Paul's lover.
Of course, everything will be totally different in the next film because there's going to be a big time jump, and it's going to be he's going to be married to Princess Avalon or whatever.
Yeah, Florence Pugh character. Yeah.
So there's going to be like a whole deal where he's going to have to be with the princess at times. Then at other times he's going to be have to be with Zendaya.
Yeah.
And she's probably not going to be very happy about it.
No, I seen the trailer. I think she's against Paul in his crusade.
It would make sense that a Fremen woman would not be the type of woman that would accept a role as a mistress. You know what I mean, or a second wife.
Yeah, that's a good point. Oh my god, very excited to see that trailer review.
But in that Dune universe or whatever, stuff like that is actually normal. For a ruler or a king to have like a fake wife, like an established relationship or marriage or whatever, but then also have your real wife.
Yeah, no, that's true. We see that in the TV show, I think, right? Like Dune Prophecy kind of did that a little bit, or something like that. I don't know.
Yeah, arranged marriages are a thing, during that the Dune universe, because they have that like weird throwback universe where they use a lot of like older traditions, cultural stuff,
Yeah.
It's very like Roman times, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
True. with like dukes and earls and
Yeah, it's true. Yeah, well, speaking of Dune, you want to see the Dune Part 3? Let's do that. I got nothing else.
I thought you said you had the Doomsday trailer.
No, Dune Part 3.
Dune, okay.
Yeah, I got the Dune Part 3 teaser trailer because that one came first before Spider-Man. That came out on the 18th.
Yeah, I know. I heard the day that it came out. I saw the announcements.
Yeah, so let me get rid of this and add Doom Part 3 because you will like it. It's really exciting.
Oh, I like Dune.
Yeah, and so to kind of give the background, yeah, this movie is going to adapt.
I know. I read on that guy Quinn's Ideas YouTube channel. I watched his whole 2-hour breakdown of that book and what happens. You know.
Yeah, because this one is adapting the Doom Santa book.
Yeah, there's gonna be a big time jump, right? You know, Timothy Chalamet is gonna be a lot older now.
Yeah, kind of curious what your thought about that because we see it briefly, but here, let's do it.
Yeah, they're not gonna have it. They're not gonna have it actually flow right after the last film.
Yeah.
If we have a girl, what will we name her?
Her name should be Ganima. She'll need to be strong.
You don't really know anything about his kids, man.
Oh no, I know. How many kids he gets?
They're fucked up, man. His kids end up fucked up.
Of course.
So he would have the wisdom of his grandfather.
War feeds on itself. The more I fight, the more our enemies fight back. I'm doing the best I can to protect my family. How did Father do it?
Your father never started a war.
I'm not afraid to die. But I must not die. Yet.
That's right. They're gonna for the first time now. We're actually gonna see a Gola. We're gonna see Jason Momoa's character come back from the dead.
Yeah, that's the big one. It was cool to see Jason Momoa character come back. Well,
you don't know about all that shit, like how that works and everything. I do, you know. There's this bizarre culture and planet that even though it's illegal to make thinking machines and all that kind of stuff, they don't care. They make black market technology. You know what I mean? Like they break the rules, you know. And they create what's called Golas, which are copies of dead people. You know what I mean? You know.
Yeah, I heard briefly
regenerated like tanks, you know, from birth. You know what I mean? You know, as like, you know, copies of dead people, you know. All they need is like some genetic material from the person, you know, the dead person, you know, and then they can clone a new person.
Okay. That's interesting. Yeah, I think
and sometimes the goal is even get their memories back and they can remember who they used to be.
I think that's the case of the Jason Momoa character being pulled into that like group you're talking about that gonna like double clone him into the new one.
Paul's son later on, the one that becomes the emperor for like, you know, 1200 years or whatever, like extends his life, you know, or whatever, you know, and it becomes a worm, you know, he mixes up with the worms, you know what I mean? It becomes the worm god or whatever, and he rules for like 1200 years. He has to have that character around him. Like he's so fascinated in having him, around him that he keeps recreating him as a Gola over and over and over again, no matter what. And eventually the guy like gets tired of it, and he's like, bro, what the fuck is wrong with you? Why do you keep bringing me back?
That is so interesting. But yeah, he's coming back, which is cool. He was great in the part 1, which is good.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes the Golas don't like being a Gola. You know what I mean? They get their memories back at some point, and they're like, at some point in their life, there's some sort of like ceremony that can be performed or something like that, or there's something that can be done that that at some point in the life can help bring back the memories of their old life.
Okay.
So at some point they then become who they used to be.
Okay.
And sometimes that can be a problem.
Wow. Yeah, I'm very curious if he will, follow through the mission and stopping Paul.
Sometimes they even actually want to kill the ruler. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They get programmed by the Telaxu, that race, to kill or whatever,
Yeah.
Why did you already hear about that?
Yeah, I heard a little bit of that. Like, I like you explaining a bit more because I knew about this group. You brought up the name of the group.
I can't remember if it's in this book that they programmed the Gola to kill Paul, or if it's the next book.
The next book, yeah. Well, that's another thing about this movie. They are adapting the third book, Masada, but they're loosely adapting it because there are a couple of changes that I think they're going to do for this to be like the conclusion of this like Paul story.
Well, they have to make changes because Messiah is a massive book. It's like, dude, it's huge. You know what I'm saying? A lot of shit happens,
Yeah. And so I'm very curious if you brought up the kids of Paul, because I know they're born later on in the books.
There may not even be enough time for them to even grow up enough to even be like any. You know what I'm saying? They're if anything, they're probably going to be babies.
Yeah, they're listed in the cast. But we'll probably see the twins in the movie, but. I think
I believe it's in the next book that they actually become like, teenagers and adults and actually start to have a role. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Or it could be later on in Messiah, but it's just way later on, and there's not going to be enough room in the movie to make that happen. You know what I mean? Because you'd have to have some kind of massive time jump to all of a sudden have them be babies and then make them teenagers.
Yeah.
And in that trailer, I don't see a time jump like that.
No, I don't know if he.
The only time jump I see is that basically they're not going to pick up right after the last movie. They're actually going to pick up where Paul is established as the emperor. You know what I'm saying? And now he's on his crusade to go out and convert all the other planets and cultures into his culture.
Okay. Oh, that's interesting. Okay.
The Fremen belief system. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, the Fremen belief. Yeah. Yeah, that now I remember.
That's why you see all those battles. That's them conquering other planets.
Yes. Yeah. That is very true.
He's on his crusade, man. It's actually kind of an evil thing, to be honest with you. Like in the book, it's considered like it's an evil fucking crusade. Like back in the day to go out and crush and kill other planets and societies to convert them into a religion.
Yeah, that's true.
Like either convert or die.
Yeah, convert or die. Yeah, that is very true.
And Paul's all about it. He's like, I'm okay. Let's do it.
Yeah. So yeah, like we're getting Florence Pugh character back, the wife. She's gonna be behind the scene to like take down Paul's empire, right? Because she doesn't like him either.
No, I can't remember exactly, but yes, she does at some point. She's unhappy with the situation because again, the other wife, she's jealous because she knows that Shanti is actually his real love, and that Paul does not love her. You know what I mean? So she becomes unhappy in her marriage. So yes, she does plot against him eventually.
Yeah, so we see that here.
She's a part of an assassination attempt against him.
Yeah, and this includes Robert Pattinson's character here, called the.
That's Robert Pattinson. Holy shit!
Yeah, so he's in the movie. He's gonna be playing Skytel, the face dancer who execute the plot to dethrone.
Yeah, that's the Twi'lekis or whatever. They create the face dancers.
Okay, yeah, because I know I read briefly about this version.
They're all into that genetics and cloning and that's their shit. You know what I mean? Creating faceless people and you know what I'm saying?
Right, and because he's going to be the main person that wants to take down Paul in the story, right?
They're very weird characters, they're women that can become men. You know what I'm saying?
Well, they're shapeshifters, right? Because he can shift into a different person.
Yeah, and there's a lot of times they're spies. You know what I mean? They're very good at assassination.
Yeah. So
they do espionage and shit like that.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
So you could the Twi'leki or whatever are very dirty in business. So they can very well give a face dancer, as a present to Paul. You know what I mean?
Ooh.
You know what I'm saying? As a gift. You know what I mean?
Okay.
That's how he's gonna get what's his name back as a gift from them. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah. So this is Jason Momoa's
he's not gonna buy him anything like that or whatever. The Twi'leki are just gonna show up one day with him and say, "Here you go. Here's your gift."
Yeah. So this is kind of like the gift for Paul, the new incarnation.
Yeah, it's gonna be like a shocking surprise. You know what I'm saying? Paul's gonna be like, "What the fuck?" You know what I mean?
Yeah. Hold on. I want because a new character we're getting. We've got introduced quickly.
And it's very controversial. Again, all the Gulas and everything, all that stuff is very controversial because again, this race, the Twi'leki, whatever, they break the rules.
They break
all the time. They're known for that. They're not afraid to make thinking machines and and stuff like that.
Yeah, that's true. Also, I just want to point out here, this is Paul's sister, right?
Yeah. Yeah,
I forgot the name.
She is a murderous, violent bitch.
Ali?
Yeah.
Of course, she's gonna. We saw her briefly.
She's insane. She's completely insane, and eventually becomes so insane that she jumps out of a window and kills herself.
Oh my god! Really?
she has something really wrong with her, having to do with the fact that she was born right after the mother drank the water of life and went through the ceremony. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Yes. From part 2.
So she was born with those. She was born with those powers. Of the ceremony. You know what I mean? The water of life or whatever. She was born with it right from jump. So as a child, as a baby, she's already having the ability to remember her the memories of her ancestors and stuff like that, and talk to them and all that.
Wow. Okay.
I don't know if you understand that's how it works, but that's how that power works. You know what I mean? It gives the person the ability to be able to actually speak to their dead ancestors.
Well, which that makes a lot of sense because we saw that in the Doom Policy show. Because one of the sisterhoods can communicate the old sisterhood that got murdered a long time ago, and speaking here in the dead. Yeah, okay, I see what you're saying.
Yeah, the Bene Gesserits are the only people that actually go through that process and have that ability. They're the only ones. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Every man before Paul that had ever tried died during the ceremony. They died.
Really? Oh, okay.
Only women could do it until Paul.
Yeah, until
because Paul's the Messiah.
Yeah.
But no, it's a lot to deal with to be able to have that power, that ability to have all those memories in your head, and all these dead people in your head. You know what I'm saying? And what happens is the sister starts to talk to Harkonnen, the bad guy from the first movie.
First movie, okay.
And it turns out that that Harkonnen actually raped Paul's mother's mother, you know, and that's how she was born through incest. So so they actually Paul and his sister actually have Harkonnen blood. You know what I mean?
Oh wow.
So what happens is she starts talking into fucking Harkonnen, and he starts corrupting her mind.
Oh, that is insane. Yeah, they don't list what's it, Skarsgård as the Harkonnen, but that'd be a good twist.
He starts twisting her mind and putting all these crazy ideas into her head that, you know, people are out to get her, and you know what I'm saying, and you know, all this shit, you know?
Right. So you brought you say that the story is gonna time jump. I heard the change of the time jump is gonna be 17 years because they want to like make the
Really?
Yes.
That seems like a lot.
17 years, yeah, because you say it was 20 years, right? The original time jump. Like,
No, I never said anything about the, you know, I don't know anything about a time jump until now.
yeah, well, remember the birth of the sister because Paul,
If there is a time jump in the books, I don't remember how big it is.
okay, yeah, I just want to let you know that that's, I guess it's after maybe the part where.
But wait a minute, if it's a 17-year time jump, then the kids would have already been born, and they'd be like, you know, like actual like young kids. You know what I mean? They wouldn't. Zendaya wouldn't be pregnant. You know what I'm saying?
I don't think they're carving that story in this movie. Like I think they're mainly focused on, I think the first part of the Messiah where we're focused on Paul, not the kids. I don't think we're really focusing.
That's what I'm saying. If you had a 17-year time jump between the films, at that point, Zendaya would have already become pregnant and already had her children during that time. That would have already happened.
Yeah, no, I think
it's not long after the events of the last Dune film in the books that they go ahead and start having children.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, they don't wait a long time. I mean, you know, just like in real life, it's always the best idea to try to, you know, get your wife pregnant when she's young and fertile. You know what I'm saying? You don't wait until she's 35 or 40 to have kids.
No, that's true. Yeah, so
I just don't see. I don't know how that time jump would work. You know what I mean? It would have to happen in the movie, not before the movie.
No, it's in the movie.
If there's a time jump between films, it would be a short one.
Yeah, no. The time jump is not going to happen in the beginning of the movie. It's going to happen in the movie.
Like they're not going to show the actual after effects of what happens at the end of the last Doom film, where you actually have, you know, the part where Paul actually has to fight against the Spacing Guild, you know, because the Spacing Guild is against him as the Emperor. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
They don't endorse him. You know what I mean?
Mm.
So there's actually kind of a little bit of a problem with him actually becoming emperor for a while, you know?
Oof.
You know what I'm saying? You know, there's a whole process of him actually becoming emperor. You know what I mean? It's not just a simple thing, you know?
Right. Wow.
Yeah, just because he killed the guy doesn't mean that automatically everyone's just gonna be like, okay, go, you're the emperor now, you know?
No, it's gonna be more challenging. Yeah, that makes sense.
The emperors don't usually. The new emperor doesn't usually come from murdering the last one. Usually in their world, you know what I mean? Usually the emperor dies, and then they pick a new emperor.
Yeah, yeah, this one is different. Yeah.
Yes, it's very new to them. You know what I'm saying? For someone to just take the emperorship, you know what I'm saying? That's different.
That's different.
You know,
yeah.
You know, so you know, of course, some people in the galaxy are not happy about that.
No, that makes sense, and it makes sense for them.
They don't like how Paul became emperor. You know what I mean? You know?
Yeah, and then later on, you know, the way he's starting the war is like even worse.
And plus, based on their traditions, the natural way of becoming the emperor, you know, there's other people that they would have liked to have been emperor, not him. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know, like he wasn't actually selected.
No, he pretty much like throw himself into be the emperor. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
And plus, on top of that, he has this massive army of fucking of Fremen that are that are on a mission to cleanse the goddamn galaxy at the same time.
Yeah.
Some people are kind of not so happy about that.
No, makes sense.
They don't want their planet and their culture to become destroyed.
No, and being extinct. Yeah.
And Paul starts to struggle with it too. Of course, he starts to struggle, with the killing and all that. You know what I mean? He knows it's not right.
No, he knows, but at the same time, the power is very overwhelming for him.
Well, the army's all about it. You know what I'm saying? They're all about it. You know what I'm saying? They have no problem with it. And that's a problem. You know what I'm saying? Because that's this massive army. Paul can't just say no to them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He's their leader. You know what I'm saying? They believe in him. You know what I'm saying? For him to reject their beliefs would be wrong.
No. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, so I'm very curious how they're going to end this trilogy, because I love these movies, and I think they've been the best movies so far of the post-pandemic.
There's definitely probably going to end up being a sort of a love and hate feeling for the first time for Paul as a character. I can tell you that right now. Once you start watching them actually going into planets and fucking killing people and converting them and all that shit,
Yeah, it's going to be really, really bad for Paul. Yeah. Because he's not the hero, because he's more like a villain.
He's an anti-hero. He's not a hero.
Yeah. He's an anti-hero. That's a good point.
He's a flawed emperor.
Yeah, and a young one too.
Who's very much, struggling with what he's doing. You know what I'm saying? Is not very confident, about what's going on.
Yeah.
While at the same time, also, being very vulnerable. You know what I'm saying? Because again, there's a lot of motherfuckers out there that don't want him to be the emperor.
Yeah. I'm very curious how they're gonna take down Paul.
So he's got enemies. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, I mean he said that in the trailer. He's every enemy is coming after him. So it's happening.
Yeah,
even his wife is gonna be the enemy.
He's very vulnerable. I mean, all rulers are. You know what I'm saying? In this world, you know what I mean? All of them are potentially, can be assassinated. You know what I'm saying, or whatever.
Yeah. All right, sir. I think we need to call it a wrap. I had to.
Yeah, you gotta get some sleep, sir. I know.
Yeah. Thank you so much for joining me tonight, sir. It was a pleasure. Very happy we did the trailer reactions.
Yeah, those are some great trailer reactions, man. I'm glad I was able to actually give you some reactions.
Yeah, and I mean these were the best trailers so far this year, and very excited for doing part 3. I knew a little bit of what you were talking about because I took some time to watch it.
Yeah, we don't really have that many a ton of other really big trailers coming out the rest of this year, do we?
Yeah, a couple. Well, we'll see. It depends on when the studios release them, but yeah, we'll see. I'll keep a watch on the trailers, but yeah. So just kind of plug out the MCU Bleeding Edge stuff we're gonna have this week. So Wednesday we're gonna have our first review on Daredevil Born Again season 2, episode 1.
Thank God it's just episode 1 and not 2 of them.
Yes, as we did last year with the first season. Yeah,
I do not love doing those double episode reviews. I'm okay with them, but I do not love doing them.
Yeah, I can see why. Yeah, I don't have a problem with it, but I can see why it doesn't work with the formula. But
it just takes a long time.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, so we got that. Now Friday, I'm not gonna be with the fellas for the Monarch season 2 episode 5 review. So it's gonna be Jeff and Cyber, and hopefully a guest he can get to take my place. Hopefully, if not,
we'll see, sir. Not many creators actually watch Monarch or cover Monarch. Honestly, there's very few. Really? Only a couple of people we know actually covered this show.
Show.
Justin over at Geek Royalty or whatever the fuck they do it.
Yeah, and Emron from the Jock and Nerds do
it
too.
Yeah.
That
They
makes
do,
sense.
Imran, they do all of them. They cover every TV. They cover like every fucking TV show that comes out there, bro.
Oh yeah. No, I see their YouTube page. Yeah.
It's still mind blowing to me though to think about the fact that fucking every time Imran records, he records with a goddamn puppet.
Yeah. Yes. Oh my god, I never knew that.
That has got to be goddamn bizarre.
Hey, but it's making, attention, right, for their
I
channel.
I wonder if they record like him and his co-host record first, and then they bring in the puppet stuff after, or if they do it all together.
It has to be like before, right?
No, not before. It would have to be. Well, yeah,
After.
No, you could be before. You could have everything already ready to go. You know what I mean? You know.
Yeah,
But then you'd have to deal with the timing of it. You know what I'm saying? You'd have to have the perfect time, drop the audio. You know.
yeah, that's my thing. It's like it's long prep to do that kind of puppeteering. Thing,
I mean, when I saw reels where it showed the puppet, I didn't see the puppet with all the other guys. I just saw the puppet.
Oh,
Which makes me believe that they don't actually record with the puppet.
no, it has to be like pre-recorded, then downloaded it, right? Like something like that. I don't know.
It's still bizarre to imagine Imran doing a show like that.
Yeah, but they do it. I mean, that's funny.
I guess.
Yeah, I guess.
I watched a short with the puppet talking and everything, and it did, nothing about it seemed all that fucking great to me. I don't know.
I don't know, but I mean, people like it. I mean, it's very unusual, but it's something you don't rarely see.
It was just a fucking puppet talking about a movie. You know what I'm saying? You know, and giving his opinion. You know, there was no jokes, nothing.
Yeah.
It wasn't funny. He's just like another addition to like the review, you know.
Review. Oh my god.
So I don't know if they make him funny at times. I don't know.
Yeah, I think I need to see more of the shows. I think he is funny sometimes, but I mean they don't go too far with the comedy, so I think, but we'll see.
All I know is they cover a lot of shit.
Yeah, they do. They carry a lot of content, both movies and TV. So pretty good. All right, have a good night, guys.
All right, brother.
Yeah, have a good night. All right, ciao.
Peace.